Yeah, and also, Megan, I have a lot to remember now. I have to change everything about how I play the rain. So I really have to have everything about how I play the rain.
I don't even want to talk about these sort of things right now. My brain is so rejecting any information right now. I'm in such a bad mood today.
Well, that's what this is for. This is to let you not be yourself for a little while. Reset your chakras.
I will freaking try
You reset your chakras.
to not be myself for a little while.
Hey, that's kind of neat. Okay. Now, this thing could be fucking lying because it's been doing this to me a lot lately. So let me check to make sure it actually worked. The social stream ninja, it updated, and it added new features that make it easier to do this. And so far, they seem to be working. I find it hard to believe, but wow, they both worked first try. That literally never happens. Like literally, YouTube always takes like 2 or 3 tries for me to get. Literally, both times worked. Look at that. Okay. I got a feeling I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking here. So, got my drinks ready. We good to go?
I am good.
Hell yeah. Everything looks like it's working on here. All right, something colossally wrong is going to happen because this is going way too smooth. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It is episode 42 of Adventures from Amethil. That's like 160 plus hours of nerdiness that we have here. So if you're just now tuning in for the first time, you don't need to watch anything else to know.
If you want to know absolutely everything.
You don't need to know everything, but if you want to, you can.
There's a lot there for you.
As far as update stuff goes, so I did a little bit of updates and tweaks to the UI to make it look a little better, but not as much as I wanted to because Avowed came out, and I have not been doing anything that I'm supposed to be doing because I've been playing Avowed. Just being honest with y'all. Did that not work? Okay.
I guess my accidental click of that was good? Or are you talking about the roll 1d20 thing not working?
Oh, the 1d20 thing that Sin did.
Okay.
Oh, it all makes sense now. I know why my fucking UI reset. So what I was going to say is that the reason that there's not health on the screen is because Fantasy Grounds hates me. But I realized the dice tray changed.
Did it?
Yeah, look at the dice tray. It's got like the full border all the way around it now. My dice tray used to be all the way up and down on the left-hand side, and now it's just like its own enclosed thing. And I bet that's why everything fucking changed.
You can move it now. If you didn't know, Cliff, you can move your dice tray.
That's helpful.
Always good.
I didn't know this. I right-clicked it and said unlock. I'm like, oh.
And look at everything. The things bounce off the edges of it now.
Oh, neat.
Like an actual dice tray. Yeah, so anyways, I need to figure out a way to get health bars on my streaming computer in a logical way that is replicable and I don't have to worry about it changing on me every time so I can show the things that I want to show. So I will either be doing a crash course on programming in Lua this weekend, or I will be hiring someone who knows how to do it. But it's really hard to hire someone who knows how to do it because like Fantasy Grounds has its own like particularities. So like they would have to know how to do Fantasy Grounds. So we'll see. I need something though because this isn't cutting it for me anymore. I know you've tried, Jay. It's fucking it's stupid.
Cliff.
Yeah.
When I use the circlet of mental fortitude,
Yeah.
is that a reaction, bonus action, free action for expending a use?
If you read the description on the item, it should tell you.
It sure doesn't.
Did they really get
Is
rid
it
of it
blank?
on there?
Mhm.
Oh no, it's
It
still
says, yeah.
there.
When you do the saving throw, you can choose to expend
Yeah. So
charge.
it's
So is
basically
it
like a
just a reaction
reaction, if
then?
you will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have to do a saving throw, you can choose to do that to get advantage on the saving throw. So you probably don't even need to activate it. You could just say you're using it and then do it. But the activation's there, so you can actually tick it off if you need to and see what you got to do. But yeah, so Jay, no slight to you. I know it's stupid, but I need to find someone who is competent or not competent is fluent in the stupid of it, and them to make me it because I am not fluent in it. I am not fluent in it at all in any way. And every time I try to do it, it's like I made it where a window popped up. Yay.
I'll have to look at it. I did very basic Lua a bit ago. I'll have to look into it though. I'll see what how.
Well, if you can figure it out, I will take it. But yeah. Anyways, enough of the gibbering. If there's no pibber, we shouldn't be gibbering.
You're fired.
Let's jump into recap. Jump into this. We got a lot of shit to do today, so. Megan, are you doing recap today? Or are you absolving yourself?
I sure am not because I was watching not this stream.
Ooh, who wants to do recap for the Dirty 19?
I can do it if no one else does.
I heard sit on mute and I'm like, Hanson.
I can always do it. It's just Megan beats me to it.
Quick and dirty.
Yep. It's gonna be like 5 minutes though.
Do it.
Wow, it's long for you.
I know. So started off the session in the hole that just happened to be there outside of Sandscale. Desmond grabbed a golden sword off the golden statue. The golden statue turned into golden coins. Sword was nice. It was like a +2 or something. He walked back out of the cave, teleported across the big cavern that dropped into nothingness, and everyone of the Eclipsean Order made their way out of this big hole in the ground. Desmond handed the sword off to Roderick. They all started walking back to Sandscale. Once they got in there, Esmeralda stopped and talked to Roderick, saying that she didn't really appreciate the way he was talking to her. Kind of freaked Roderick out for a little bit, and he took a walk for an hour. Desmond told Esmeralda and Thrain that he wanted to have a Shatterkai meeting, stuff to go over stuff that's happening in the Shadowfell and stuff with them. So to come to his room later on that night, and everyone went about their business. Desmond did crafting and stuff in his room. Thrain ate, took a nap. Esmeralda tried some more of the food here, then went to organize stuff in her room. Roderick, after taking a walk and talking to himself, came back and was trying to gather some information on Esmeralda and climbed up and started peeking in their room and stuff like that. Nell went to go and acquire some new clothes, found a really nice top, but immediately got it, what's the word?
Confiscated.
Confiscated, yeah, by the Dragon Guard because it was made using stolen materials. They tried arguing that the material has already been used, they'll pay for it. Does this person know that they were using stolen goods? All that, but the Dragon Guard wasn't having it. So they ultimately ended up going to a different shop and I think getting a different top there.
I don't even fucking remember.
No, apparently it doesn't matter. Yep, they came back and caught Roderick, scolded him for peeping. Then they came inside. Then Esmeralda and Thrain came up to Desmond's room. They had their talk about what's going on with the Eclipsean Order, what's going on with Esmeralda, what's going on with Thrain, then what's going on with Shadowfell, and how there are tears opening, and at the moment the priority of Desmond is shifting from whatever the hell is going on with the Hag to saving his home instead. Not really any questions were asked, so that conversation ended there. Everyone went back to their rooms, everyone went to sleep, and the next morning, well, before the next morning, I think Roderick stopped by Nell's room, who had a guest, barged in, and gave Nell a bunch of clothes that he had acquired. Explained that something's going on with the Shatter Kai folk and how he doesn't trust the new witch that joined us. Thrain might just be a shorter, chunkier Shatter Kai. Stuff to all that.
You added in the chunkier part.
Everyone ended up going to sleep. In the morning, Dragon Guard, Captain, everyone came, wanted to discuss the new, or what was going to happen the day of us teleporting and all that. We told them what our plan was. That didn't really go well over. So they pretty much said, you are under our watch, under our protection. If you try anything or do anything that might incite a war, it's going to look bad on us. So you have to follow our rules. And after some debate, we all agreed that we're all going to stand on trial up on the stage. If anything happens, it doesn't matter if you're innocent or not. We're fucking killing everyone and getting the fuck out of there.
Like heroes.
Well, that was decided between Roderick and Desmond. So we'll see who jumps on board. While out and about, person runs up, gives Nell their armor, gets it all fitted. Everyone does some last minute touch-ups and tidy-ups to leave Sandscale. And I believe we all rested for the night and woke up in the morning ready to finally leave. That's where we ended.
Yep. And some call-outs on there. So Nell's clothes that were confiscated were made from illegal silk, which was literally just a nod towards the Floating Isles of Etheria campaign.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
but yeah, what were you going to say, Adam?
Did you mess with spells at my spells? I know we talked about what happened. Did you leave them prepared on accident?
I didn't touch what was prepared and what wasn't prepared.
I think when you added them, it automatically prepared them because I have way more spells prepared than I used to remember.
Okay, yeah, you should only have like 4 level
10.
1 or something like that.
I have 10 total spells prepared.
10? Oh, yeah, no, I'm thinking Paladin that has the...
Yeah, it's Cleric plus Wisdom.
Yeah, so, you know, your Grave Domain spells are always prepared. Everything else you have to actually do. All right, cool. So, we're going to pick up right from there. Is everybody in Sirenscape?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me get rid of these.
I don't know if Christine is.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Ooh, something
Oh
doubled.
yeah, I never did this stuff in here spell-wise for what happened at level up, huh?
Cliff thought it should have did it at level up. Cliff, or at least he did for me.
I don't fucking know.
I think with... I think Paladin, they get all the spells. Is that what it was?
Well, yes, but
That's always prepared, so I've got 9. Like 1.
I guess spell slots was my thought, and also, although I get all the spells, I'm not sure if it changes how many I can have prepared for the day.
It does. So you're so as a paladin at 8th level, right?
7th.
7th level.
Yeah,
You
should
plus half
have.
your paladin level.
So you don't have to prepare spells. You have all your spells available to you. And you can use 4 level 1 spell slots and 3 level 2 spell slots.
I'm pretty sure
And
the
since-
divine casters have to prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, I have to prepare. All of them are in access to me to prepare every day.
Choose a number of paladin spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level rounded down.
Yeah, there you
Pair
go.
list of spell, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
see it.
half rounded down, so you wouldn't change this level. You change next level.
Okay.
Because it's rounded down, so it's odds you won't change, evens you will.
I'm glad I don't actually have to make decisions right now because honestly, I'd probably start crying.
Great.
I'm doing great.
You don't have any decisions you need to make at least for the first half hour.
Great.
Right. Our face, the one that said that they're going to do the talking.
Why do you think I do this?
I don't know you do that.
And real quick, so I shared
It's
with
a
everybody
cookbook.
the rules for identifying an item. That should have popped up on your screen. That's what we talked about. Also, if you go into the player notes, I reorganized the campaign-specific notes at the very top, so they have 3 asterisks before, so they're easier to find.
I was wondering why those changed.
Yeah, I just did it so that way it'd be easier to find them.
Actually, looking at the spell slots for multi-class or spellcasting table, since I've got bard shit, I should have at least 1 4th level spell at. Nope, 2 4th level spell slots.
Well, it should be based on your bard level, not your... I don't think that it works that way.
Payable spell slots by adding together all of your levels in the bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, and wizard, and half of your levels rounded down in the paladin. Okay.
Yeah, that's how
And
many
it's just
how many
spell
slots
slots.
you have. You shouldn't have access to 4th level spells though.
But if I had a 4th level spell slot, wouldn't that mean I should?
You don't have a 4th level spell slot though, do you?
Yeah, no, because I was wrong about how calculate.
Okay, I was about to say that because if so, I'm fucking lost. Because you shouldn't get a 4th level for a bard until level 7, and you don't get a 4th level for a paladin until fucking level 13. So.
I'm understanding this now. It was just first looking at the table, I saw the 7th level section. I was like, "Excuse me? I did not think that I even had 3rds yet."
No, you're good. All right, so You all wake up. This is the morning of, essentially, you have enough time to gather your things and maybe knock out one small task, if there's any sort of unfinished business or anything that you want to do before meeting the Dragon Guard in the southeastern part of the city.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
One task is a whole magic item for me. So give me a second.
Oh, I didn't realize you meant actual downtimes.
An actual downtime, not really, like, because you need to do at least an hour for a downtime, right? Not what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Or some odd, yeah, I wouldn't say like a full downtime. Desmond's a little different because he could just like do shit.
Whoop-de-doo things into the air, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for Desmond, he's gonna make sure that Nell has that +1 armor affixed to their armor.
Hey, that reminds me, I added that as an action for you. So you could target Nell, and you can actually cast that on them, so then that way it's tangible and you know which ones you have out there.
Oh, nice. So if I wanted to, I can swap that shit around.
Meanwhile, I have it in a note on my special defenses of +1 to AC.
Until you upset Desmond, and I'm like, I'm gonna take this for a second. Enhanced defense. All right. Cliff, I need one more flash of genius, since I have a +4 to my int now. I don't know how to do it. I've been trying to figure it out.
Shit, I don't know how to do it right now either. I lied.
What does this spell do? The minute cap.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to preparation, you can change how many uses you have of something.
Yeah.
And is this working right? Int.
It is worth to
That is not.
So, okay. Approximately 10 minutes before we leave, I'm going to ritual cast a spell.
Sure.
Okay.
And then it will be this one.
All right. So Desmond's doing Desmond shit.
Mm-hmm.
Thrain's gonna ritual cast something before we leave. What about Roderick Nell or Esmeralda?
Nell is praying to Doriel for justice. Religious bullshit, yeah.
Give me a religion roll.
So question.
Yeah.
Because it is my religion, is there any form of a bonus or no?
I'm gonna say no in this instance because you're not ascertaining information from something that you would already know, so you don't have an advantage on it. You're literally casting out a prayer, so it would be just straight on this one. If it was about like trying to get information about your religion, I would definitely let you do it. But
Yeah,
hey,
no problem.
that's fine.
I get it.
There's no negative implications here at the surface. So. Desmond's doing Desmond bullshit. Thrain's ritual casting. Nell is praying. What about Esmeralda and Roderick?
Roderick is, he's just going over the plans with his other self and hands off his guns to him. And he leaves his room as his echo poofs away. And he's going to go and find Nell.
Oh, I see why you wanted to do that now. Okay. Okay. It makes sense now. I might change my answer had I realized what was going on here, but I guess I suckered myself into this one. And what is Esmeralda doing?
And just so you're aware, Cliff, this spell requires your input.
Okay.
You are muted if you're trying to talk, Christina.
Oh, no, I was just mumbling to myself about something. I'm not going to be doing anything.
Okay. So, to get you in the proper headspace, Esmeralda, you're about to get thrust into a bunch of bullshit that you are not involved with, know nothing about, other than, like, the 10-minute conversation that you had yesterday. And, you know, the rest of them are on trial for, like, serious shit. You're just the accomplice.
Big murder is what we're on trial for.
Big murder. That is the official. That is the official charge.
Exactly.
All right, then. You all do your preparations. Thrain, I guess, go ahead with what you were doing.
I cast said spell. It's augury. I think how you pronounce it.
Okay.
I've heard it pronounced that way and also pronounced just augury.
And I'll say a prayer over my amulet.
Is augury a ritual spell?
Cleric knowledge, domain, ritual.
Ritual. Yep. Okay, I see that. All right. What is do you ask it? Let me see here. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity. The results plan within the actions you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's another spell. Yeah. So, right as I'm getting ready to leave, I will finish this spell, cast it, get my response, and get up and leave.
Yeah, so just before you leave, you would just hear a voice say, "Wheel." Okay. You all gather all of your belongings, head out, and meet up with one another in the lobby of the Obsidian Boot. In the lobby... what's that?
So, Desmond comes down completely different than what he's usually wearing and has equipped. He has his new armor on and a new coat on as well. The coat is opened up with the armor on display underneath, and on the back of the coat is the symbol of the Eclipsean Order, but like a simplified version. And above the order of the Eclipsean Order is the symbol of the Black Lotus. He doesn't have his mask on or his cowl pulled up or anything. He has a black necklace on instead, and his mask is attached to his hip. And similar to how Roderick has, he has a strap around his chest with bullets filled with all of his potions. And bits and pieces of his armor are exposed, like his gauntlets, his knees, his shins. But he comes down with this new look and with a rather large weapon affixed to his back.
Okay.
Looks like a solid black longsword, but more intricate, and it looks like it has the same pieces of Roderick's firearm affixed to it as well.
Okay. So you all see Desmond head out with his new armor, new setup, bandolier, sword on back, looking like a completely different person than he did yesterday had you not known him.
Would it be, I don't know the exact fitment of our court clothes. Would those happen? They don't fit over armor, do they?
You're like,
no,
that would be like in place of.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, be armored up.
Okay. As you all make it into the lobby of the Obsidian Boot, you see the High Blade waiting there. And he'll kind of raise an eyebrow at Desmond and say, most people tend to dress down for court and wear less armor. And then he kind of jokes. He's like, interesting that you chose to go the opposite route.
Interesting that you speak to Desi that way.
Nell comes down the stairs now in full plate as opposed to their old armor. Obviously, also not dressing down for this armor-wise.
Desmond like looks up at Nell coming down, looks back, and like raises an eyebrow at him.
I stand corrected.
Rain will come down looking like the rain.
So armor.
She's also gonna look kind of confused and like around at everyone and be like, should I go get something?
This is what I wear daily. What I find comfortable.
No, I'm aware for you, but
Stay what you're comfortable with.
it's not a matter of comfortability. It's a matter of funds at this point.
This is not a trial by combat. You shouldn't need armor. Though,
We've
given your
unfortunately learned to always have armor, because even when we are just having a drink in the tavern, people tend to show up.
Understood.
So, are you afraid of a battle by combat? Is that why you not offer it to us?
It's not how this works. It's
Unfortunately.
right. That's an actual response from Thrain.
It would be a quick trial if we did so.
No, we are going to speak before a sphinx with a truth spell on us. Thankfully, we are not guilty of what we are charged, so
Well, we are.
we're guilty of killing him, but it was self-defense, so it doesn't matter.
The semantics are semantics at this point. We've been over them how many different times? Let's just go. I'm tired of talking about it. There's nothing we can do about it now.
I will unfortunately need all of your weapons.
Bad question. Can you actually see my weapons on me?
I don't know. Can you see her weapons on her?
I don't feel like you would be able to.
So that's up to
Depends
you.
on the weapon, like how big is it? It's an easily concealed dagger. Whatever.
How does he plan to hold on to these weapons?
As he says it, he like points to the side, and he has like a coffer, for you to be able to put everything in.
Okay. Warhammer, spear out of his bag, short sword from the bag, hand axe, dagger.
He's just looking at you like, Jesus Christ.
It's like, what the hell?
My claw of the order, another claw of the order. Oh.
As he's doing that, you're just gonna see Esmeralda kind of like start patting herself down and like,
Shrug.
yeah.
Sure. Give me a deception roll.
Nell's weapons are all very obvious, so it's, battle axe, great axe, set of javelins, short bow, long sword.
I'm gonna look up at him, gesturing at my shield. This too.
Your call on that.
I'm keeping the shield.
Fuck. Okay.
He kind of like just looks at you as you're like patting yourself down and just gives you a nod. And he like looks at Roderick. What are those?
Pulls his swords, puts them in the coffer.
What about the firearms?
He like pulls open his coat. It's like left him behind. He did leave him behind.
He kind of he squints a little bit as he's looking at you, and he's like, "You left them in your vacated room?"
That's the last place I had them.
Are you saying that someone stole them?
Look, I'm saying I don't have them on me. Your problems are over. Can we leave?
Give me a persuasion roll.
Let's see.
He's like, I'm not trying to cause a scene here, but I've never once since you've been in this city seen you without them. I find it hard to believe you would just let them out of your sight like that.
Well...
He's going to interrupt you.
Infiltrate.
I'm not... All I want to make sure is that you're not going to do anything to get us both in trouble.
He like holds his arms up.
If you say you don't have them, I will take you at that.
All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Then he looks at Desmond.
Desmond comes up, pulls the sword off, places it on the coffer. Good luck trying to figure that one out. And pulls out the daggers and the spear. And like holds one in each hand. These two are older than everyone in Sandskill combined. And he like places them.
Nothing will come of your gear, and you will get it back at the end of this. I'm also going to need the bandolier. The Durian Guard aren't going to know what liquid are in those vials. And this is going to save us a whole lot of unnecessary explanations.
Desmond pulls it off, starts taking off each of his vials one by one from each of his belts, his arm straps, his leg straps, and places like 30 bottles on top of him.
He must feel so light and agile now without all that glass weighing him down.
He'll take off his cloak as you're doing that and sort of like swath the vials so they don't break as he kind of sets them inside there. He said, "Is there anything else on your persons that may cause the Durian Guard any unnecessary hardships.
Not unless you have a problem with an herbalism kit.
She's just gonna raise her hand.
Yes. You?
Yes.
She's.
You're gonna be an unnecessary problem for the Durian Guard?
I would not cause one on purpose, but I feel like they may not.
I do not think you'll fit in this coffer.
I'll pull out the 2 dire bear claws. Think they'll care about these?
Better safe than sorry.
Drop them in. I gotta look at everything in here now.
You don't have to. You can just say you put it all in there.
Well, I'm uncarrying it, so I know I don't have it. Just so I know what I put in there.
As you're doing that, he like looks at Esmeralda and he's like, I would ask that you do your best not to cause any sort of scene there. Not for your safety, but for the sake of a tumultuous relationship. You are not familiar with our relationship to Durian, but we haven't been on very good terms for years. Anything that they could take as a slight against them could cause negative repercussions for the entire country. I ask that you are all on your best until this ordeal is over. When you are no longer under our wing, I'm not here to mother you. You all do what you are going to do, and I respect that the choices that you make will be the right ones. But while you are under our jurisdiction, I ask that you take a special care in the words you use and the actions that you commit to.
Cliff, is there a reason I can't change where certain stuff is located? Like I can't put my pouch in my backpack?
No,
I can't change the name of anything?
You should be able to just click the unlock button up at the top.
Ah, thank you.
As you put everything in there, he sort of looks at you all once you stop reaching for your bags and shit. And he just walks over to the door and he gives it 2 little taps. And as he does, 2 more Dragon Guard come in and they each lift up one end of the coffer. And then the Dragon Guard, he like holds the door open and he just motions for everybody. He's like, after you all.
And of course, Nell's just gonna calmly start walking down towards that, was it southeastern?
Yep.
Southwestern?
Southeastern.
South right.
Yeah.
South right.
To the south right.
As you all start walking, there's a few more guard that are waiting outside, the 2 that are carrying it, and then the High Blade. And he starts explaining to you as you're walking, there are certain formalities around the extradition of prisoners. For the sake of saving face for you all, I want to do this as discreet as possible. They ask us to bring you bound in chain, and I have declined. We will head to a storehouse in the southwestern province of Sandscale, and we will get you all robes to wear. We will march you out the south exit, around the eastern wall, all the way up north, till we get to the teleporter. So that way, none of the citizens of the city see you all being marched out as criminals.
Thank you.
And he heads over, and you guys walk all the way across the city, so it's a pretty long walk. Are there any questions or anything that you have for him during this time, or is it mostly just kind of a silent, somber walk?
I feel like you wouldn't get any questions out of me.
Okay. You are the person that should have the most questions, but your character is the one that would be the least likely to ask them. If I was Esmeralda, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Everything they explained, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I don't understand why you have to march us to the transporter in the first place, considering we're going willingly. But I thank you for making it discreet nonetheless.
There are agreements that we have all made with extradition of prisoners. And while I have not treated you as such, under the eyes of Durian, that's what this exchange is. And for the sakes of maintaining what thin string of amicability that we have between one another, I want to take as many precautions as I can. Some, such as having you bound, I don't feel are necessary. Within the time that you've been here, you have never shown yourselves to be a threat to me or to anyone who didn't deserve it. Me personally escorting you here is using my vouch for your character, which in the eyes of Durian may not mean much, but as part of the united treaty that we have, it's akin to if the king were to do it. Not that I in any way equate myself to the king, but the type of accommodation that this is equivalent to a royal escort.
Nell just nods.
All right, and if no one else has any other questions, you all get to the storehouse, and you get these robes, and they're these real, like thin, almost silk-like robes of like a really dark brown, very nondescript. No markings on them really. It's all just a single flow with a rope wrapped around it that you could tie if you needed to tighten it at the waist. They don't really have dwarven size, so Thrain, it is sort of dragging on the ground for you.
Nell would go into their bag and grab some skirt hikes to give him. He's got skirt hikes holding it up around his leggies.
Nope, it's gonna drag.
Oh, I like the idea better of skirt hikes.
How tall is Esmeralda?
Good question. I know it said medium,
Yeah.
Everyone's
So-
medium.
I'm
that's-
4'10" and I'm medium.
Well, no,
And
I
then we
want
have Roderick, who's what, 6 something?
6'1"?
Yeah.
I said I wanted to
Yeah.
be on like the smaller side.
So medium is any creature between 4 feet and 8 feet tall in this game.
So that is up to you.
Is your race like Shatterkai?
Yeah. So
Desmond, are you average height?
I'm 5'10".
Is that average for you, or?
Shatterkai,
Small
they
enough.
say on average,
average.
on average, Shatterkai are between 5'7" and 6 feet. It says, but you don't have to be the average. You could be whatever height you want to be.
Still young.
Putting Christina on the spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 5 feet.
Even,
Yeah.
so a little bit taller than you are in real
Adorable.
life.
She's shorter than Nell.
Leave me alone.
All right, so 5 feet tall. So with you being 5 feet tall, your robe probably drags on the ground a little bit as well.
Would it though? Because the actual bulk of it would be smaller, so it'd be just in general smaller size versus Thrain. The bulk of it has to be so much bigger.
Yeah, but in general, like it's like a one size robe.
Okay.
So it's probably geared for people around like 5'10". So anybody that's less than 5'10", it's probably either hanging much lower than it should, where it's becoming like in the way when you walk a little bit, or you're outright it's on the ground. But
It's just barely not on the ground, I'd say, for Nell's 5'4".
yeah, and if it is, you got skirt hikes. So you all get the robes on, and then you and this small militia with your coffer begin walking out the southern exit, hoods up, and they got you all sort of like low key, so your identities remain anonymous. And they walk you out around the city, up the front, and then that giant oasis that you seen at the north part of the city that you walked past and didn't really inspect too much. They're marching you in that direction.
About how much time has passed since I cast the spell?
Oh, an hour.
Okay.
You got to figure that like the conversation, removing all the stuff, that probably took 10-15 minutes. The walk across the city was probably 20-30 minutes. And then another 20-30 minutes back up the side of the city to go around it. So it's been an hour and a half since you all left your rooms. And as you get to that oasis, in Elvish, Elvish sounds like a medieval performer. In Elven, anyone who understands it would hear the High Blade say, the drink through the drought that never runs dry. And as he says that, at this oasis, you hear this hum of magical energy erupt through as the portal comes to life. And he looks over at one of the Dragon Guard, and they walk over with an amulet, and they push it into this small slot on the side of where the portal is at. And as they do, you see the portal color change. And the High Blade, he looks at his men and he says, just as we talked about, 2 in front, 3 in back, the 2 carrying the coffer between those. You all can remove your robes if you wish. or you can keep them on to maintain your anonymity as you walk through the city. It is your call.
Nell will take off theirs. Stupid chair.
I'll take off
Mind
mine.
me. Fighting.
Yeah, no, she's gonna take it off the instant he says that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Following Nell's lead, taking it off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the dragon guards will grab all of it and sort of place them on top of the coffer, and says, "We're going to arrive within the palace gates. We will march south through the city, and we will head to the central, where they will be having the court of justice."
Wow, so much color in this map. It's been so long.
You're gonna be so mad at him.
I don't care. I haven't moved it. I opened it just so, and not moving it until
I'm just.
I know you're gonna do it.
I'm just waiting.
Which one am I opening?
You're
It'll
not.
pop up in a
Don't
second.
open anything. Just wait.
There it is. Add it to my drop down of maps.
All right.
Oh, Dorian, I missed you.
So,
colorful.
so as he explains this, he walks first through the portal, and I guess I should ask this. Everybody follows through, right?
Yeah.
High Blade walks through first, and you guys are like, oh, we're gone. He's like, what
You
the
guys, I'm going home.
all right, so assuming you all go through, you would appear in this room right up here, and you are greeted by a small Durian militia, and the High Blade, he salutes them and he says, "I will be personally escorting the members of the Eclipsean Order to see the Sphinx. If you all have any problem with that, have your captain take it up with me." And they all just sort of give him like a perch lip nod, and he begins walking through. La, da, 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 da.
Cliff, wasn't there a roll we had to make last time since we've never been through the portal? I don't remember what it was for like the feeling it gave us.
But now we've been through it.
Are
yes,
you trying to make me sick?
yes and no. For this one, it's a little bit different because it wasn't just because of you being sick. There was a little bit more to it.
Okay.
So
Just a thought.
uh-huh.
I didn't know if we had to do it this time again, but
No one has to do it.
Okay.
Unless you really want to.
nope.
All right, so as you all begin marching down, the first set of gates open, and then the second set of gates open, and then you are all out of the city keep. And as you are looking around the streets, you see that there is a formal celebration taking place in honor of the return of the Sphinx. Nell, you've probably seen this a few times in your life.
Considering it's there every month.
Yeah. Considering
Once or
that.
twice.
Oh, you've seen it a few
In the
times
past
in your life.
134 years.
For everybody else, as you're walking through the streets, like there are balloons and streamers strewn about, You hear children laughing and playing as they're running through the streets. Artisans have market stalls that have been set up. So as you're walking down the main street towards the temple area, the smell of fresh baked goods fills the air. You hear the clanging of blacksmiths who have brought anvils out to that main walk as they're building things. You see one of the artisan guildies is carving a life-size marble statue just right in the open with people gathered around watching. As
Did
you're
we have
led...
anything? Good. Did we have anything at order in the artisan guild after we joined?
I
didn't know.
You got
Okay.
you got your sheaths, and that was
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, just making sure. Because I know we ordered some stuff. I don't remember. It's been a while since we been here. I don't remember if we grabbed it.
Yeah, I think you got everything.
Okay.
So as you're led through the city to the central plaza, you see just droves of people gathered around where the temple is at. And through the middle of all these people peeking out, you can see the Sphinx standing in the courtyard of the temple, just towering over the people. As you arrive, you're catching the tail end of a verdict being read, and you're far enough away that you don't hear what's happening, but you see the crowd part, and you see Durian Guard leading these people in your direction, and they are fully shackled. Arms, ankles, chains connecting the wrist and the ankles, as they're being led past you back towards the city keep. As you're approaching, you see every head in the audience swivel and look in your direction as a crier begins to bellow out. Hear ye, hear ye. All souls of Durian, gather and heed these words. By decree of His Highness, Josiah Evangelical, the Sphinx of Judgment will fairly form ruling of the following members of the Eclipsean Order. Please step forward as your name is called. Nell Ambre Tash of Durian, Thrain Ironforge of Numpton, Roderick Wovencroft of Furin, and Lord Desmond Dusk, heir to the House of Dusk within the occupied realm of the Shadowfell. These accursed stand before fate itself, to speak under the gaze of truth and face the weight of their deeds. None may lie, none may stray, for justice weaves her threads this day. Let all bear witness as their judgment begins now. And as you are all paraded in front of everybody here, you stand face to face with this Sphinx. I will say a side note on this. Esmeralda, you are not called forward. Do you march forward with the rest of them, or do you stay back with the Dragon Guard?
She's gonna look at Desmond to see if he motions for her to follow.
No, just shake his head at her.
Okay, then she's gonna stand back.
Yeah, as he does that, the High Blade catches it and he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he just gives you a nod. So the four of you are marched up front, and you are standing in front of this Sphinx, and this thing is so tall that your head goes up to the barrel part of its chest as it's standing on all fours. And as you see this thing, it is a very fantastical sight to behold. It has these thick plumage feathers where each feather is probably bigger than your face in width. And it has these giant claws. But there's something otherworldly about this one in particular, as it has this hazy blue aura to it, and its eyes are just pure blue. And as you're marched up there and the crier pulls back into the crowd, the Sphinx looks down at you all, and with a soft yet booming voice that sort of just echoes through your chest, it says,
"Before we begin, you must understand the gravity of this proceeding. The court of the Sphinx tolerates no deception. I, Commerce, Sphinx of Judgment, chosen of Behemoth, am judge, jury, and if need be, executioner. You will each submit to the zone of truth. Under his influence, you must answer all questions directly and without evasion or omission. Failure to comply will not be tolerated. Do you all willingly submit?"
What was that last sentence?
do you all willingly submit?
Nod.
Desmond just nods and just looks straight up.
Nods.
As you all nod, you see this glint in its eye for a moment, and all of a sudden you see this circle of energy envelop where you're standing at. And for those of you who have any sort of experience with Zone of Truth, this is like one you've never seen before. In scale, it takes up basically the entire courtyard that you're standing in. It is a massive ring of blue energy. And as that goes off and you sort of hear gasps from the crowd, the Sphinx turns, looks back at everybody.
Due to the sensitivity of the accusations, the slaying of the Baron of Durian, you will be transported to a demi-plane. There, the veil of distraction will lift, and judgment will be passed.
And just as she says that, there is a ripple of arcane energy, and you see the city around you begin to dissipate like smoke. And you find yourself standing in the Sphinx's demi-plane. This is a...
For my reference, does this mean that the remainder of Durian cannot see us?
Correct.
At all?
Correct.
Okay.
And you cannot see
like
them.
That. I don't like this.
As you all are standing there, you're finding yourself in this essentially empty desert of blue. It's so quiet here that the silence almost echoes within your ears. As your eyes survey the land around you, you notice that scattered around the landscape, there are beacons of light that are just beaming down from the sky, almost like a spotlight, and they seem to appear out of nowhere. And you notice that they're all over, creating these spotlights throughout the landscape as far as you can see on all four sides. Everybody go ahead and give me a perception roll, please.
Me too, or just them?
Just them, sorry.
You're not here. Well, at least we got one of us.
Thrain and Roderick, are you wearing your
Blindfold.
Noted. So as you all look around here, you're all sort of captivated by these sights that you see. Thrain and Roderick, you both notice that inside of some of these beams that there are skeleton. And all of you quickly realize that you are also standing inside one of these. The Sphinx looks down at you, and a certain change to their overall cadence is noticeable.
Now that the illusion of your world has been stripped away, I will tell you what I have seen. I have spoken with many today who bore witness to the Baron's final hours. From shattered recollections and whispered truths, I have pieced together fragments of a larger tapestry. You all are in far greater danger than you realize.
The Sphinx almost has a concerned look on her face as she's gazing around, and her gaze is piercing through each of you.
I know that your hearts burn with anger towards Josiah. You see betrayal in his actions. But heed me. Josiah is being manipulated, same as you are. His faith is twisted by one who wears the mask of divinity. Despite his misguided deeds, his heart remains uncorrupted. He does not see the strings that bind him.
Is your voice supposed to be this staticky?
I don't know, is it staticky still?
Very.
Yeah,
It picked up in that last part.
yeah.
How? What about now?
You know,
Well,
use voice
No,
mod.
sounds like you.
Yeah, when you're using the modifier, it was
It's the
static.
voice mod is what sounds
Oh,
wrong.
the voice
Yeah.
mod may have static to it, I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I'm picked it
It
like...
Sounds like a valley girl talking through a box fan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I grabbed it like as we started, so I can not use it if it throws you off. You let me know.
It's just getting it hard to understand
Yeah,
your time.
it was
Yeah.
fine the first time, but the second time it picked up.
Yeah, it got really weird.
Okay. That's fine.
Remember how you were saying things were going too good?
Yeah, it's cool. So, as did you guys catch all that then?
Not completely.
Okay.
Like,
So she
it got
says,
really bad
No.
near the tail end of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she was basically saying like that he's being like,
Manipulated, maybe?
Yeah.
yes.
That's the word?
so,
Yeah.
despite his misguided deeds, his heart remains uncorrupted. He does not see the strings that bind him. The Sphinx takes a step closer to you, and you can feel the weight of every step as it echoes through this empty landscape. The one who deceives him is being known by whispers, a master of illusion and false narratives. The name spoken to me, the Silver Masquerade. Their influence spreads like a slow poison, subtle and deadly. I haven't been able to yet piece together the whole truth. Something impedes me. But know this, their hand guides more than just Josiah. I have peered through the weave of countless realities. In all but one you fall. A chain of events has already begun, which leads to the Silver Masquerade's agents hunting you, their blades finding your backs, them bringing an end to your life. If you are to survive, you must follow my words precisely upon leaving this plane. Deviate even slightly, and death will surely find you. Her voice drops as she gets a little bit closer. Your choices from this moment forward are blades balanced on the thinnest edge. Tread carefully or find your ends. We haven't much time. I know you have many questions. If you are to make it out here alive, we must be quick. What can I answer for you?
Do Yarlith and Darnine live?
Those are not names that I'm familiar with.
They're individuals that were rescued alongside Josiah that witnessed the entire thing.
She stopped for a second, and her eyes sort of glow this soft white for a moment. I did see them in latent memories. I know not what happened to them. They were not brought forth for trial.
Is this Silver Masquerade led by a primordial malevolence who is also after the runes?
No. This being has their focus on Durian. All the pieces that they've played have been to seed misinformation and obtain control of the city proper.
Do we know why they want Durian?
No. I'm not
just
sure
want
if
to-
Durian is something they want or a convenience that they know is within their reach to take.
I wish to confirm you understand that we only acted in self-defense and defense of the innocent, and that we did not kill maliciously.
I knew this far before I first set eyes on you. Your guilt in the matter of which you are charged was never a question.
As Megan, well, that was a lot of hours wasted. Do you know who leads these silver masks?
From what I can piece together, the Silver Masquerade is the name of the leader. He has an outfit of others who sow deception. Many of them changelings.
Yeah.
They
This
have
explains the Josias changeling.
they have assumed the position of key people throughout the city that would give them tactical advantage. I don't know how far this poison seeps.
Should we stay in Durian to attempt to weed them out?
Like, as you're saying it, the Sphinx snaps her head at you and she says, "No," cutting you out before you even finish your sentence.
That dangerous, eh?
Is Truded safe?
Eyes glow white for a moment. That was not within the scope of this. I am not all-seeing.
What do you know of Zendraxis or the Hag Countess?
She tilts her head at you for a moment. Says, "The name rings faint familiarity from ages long ago. And she, like, turns her back to you and, like, paces for a moment. And she says, "What curious timing. The Hag Countess made moves on the city at the same time the Silver Masquerade did. This complicates things."
She was the one controlling the Baron, wasn't she? Well, Silver Masquerade was controlling
Everything
Josiah.
else, apparently.
It seems that you all are stuck in the middle of multiple conflicts.
Creatures
roll
far
his
older
eyes.
than time that we didn't ask to be a part of.
You'll get a little cough, laugh, shake Drayton's head.
She'll look at you, Nell, and say, "Many of us did not choose the present that we find ourselves in. And you see, like, almost a hint of sorrow as she says it.
How far into our futures or destinies or whatever you want to call it, or fates, can you see?
It depends. Time consistently changes. When glimpsing into fate, it oftentimes changes as you're watching. Anytime we alter something in the present, it has rippling effects into the future. Sometimes I can see minutes, sometimes mere seconds before the vision changes. When I say a series of events have already begun, they will happen soon. Could be minutes, could be hours. But the catalyst has already happened.
Does this have anything to do with the breaking of the Aegis of Eternity?
This has everything to do with you all entering Durian.
This time or the first time?
This time.
I was born here, I should hope, but no, it has nothing to do with the first time.
Told you we shouldn't have came back here.
We wanted to clear our name with the people. We could not have foreseen that this silver masquerade would have been a problem, because we knew that Onrus would agree that we were innocent.
Had it not been today, it would have been sometime in the near future. This much seems inevitable. It's not often all paths lead to the same end. When it does, there are stronger forces than nature at work.
Then what are these decisions? These paths that we need to take?
In some indeterminable amount of time, you all will hear an orange balloon burst with a sudden pop. Its echo will trigger an arcane sigil etched into the cobble, releasing a cloud of shimmering dust that will disorient all nearby. In the confusion, cloaked figures wearing faces not of their own will emerge. They will strike from the alleys swiftly with blades of poison and silent spells. Within moments of this happening, the streets of Durian will run red with your blood. You will be ambushed, outnumbered, unable to cry for help. If you do not react fast enough, you will fall here. You must look for the woman who does not belong. Her hand will guide you to safety.
How will I know she does not belong?
You will know. And like as she says that, she like looks over her shoulder. We must go.
Well, Sphinx, Sir, Ma'am, whatever. Now, I'm not going to assume, because obviously you have centuries worth of enlightenments collected at this point, far more than me. But how do we know that these other gods, like the Hack Countess and whatever else, hasn't made you see this one singular path? This one single path that they maybe want you to see and to tell us?
Give me a charisma roll.
Oh shit.
I mean, he wasn't
Good luck, buddy.
trying to be an ass, but... Oh, that's a
But it's
save.
kind
Hold
of
on.
insulting.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
She like, you see her two big paws kind of stomp down on either side of you as she leans her head in like to yours, where you truly get the scope of this thing as like your body fits between the bridge of its nose. as it looks you like in the eyes and says,
Well, kind of.
"The Hag Countess is no god. In the cosmic timeline, she is but a child. The audacity that you think she would have the power to manipulate me.
Forgive us, Andres. We do not know enough about her. Only that she is a major threat.
And to a single speck of a lowly creature like a human such as myself, you all just seem like gods to me. So I didn't mean any disrespect. It's just I don't know how resourceful she may be. If she cannot do it herself, with old God showing up, I don't know if she might have maybe someone who can. I don't know. I just needed to throw the question out there.
Desmond just like looking off in the distance. A mere mortal that called himself king slew multitudes of gods. Then like looks up at the Sphinx.
You'll see kind of a mournful look on her face as you say that.
Their lifespan and who they are is irrelevant, considering the power that some can obtain.
She like squints her eyes and looks at Roderick. How many mortals do you know that have died and came back without the use of a spell?
So, Cliff, question. When we go unconscious, yeah, we're not dead. Never mind. Actually, never mind. Hang on. I'm going to look at Desmond.
And she continues, you are young and naive and fail to see the power that you have. This will be your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. And then you see her ears like perk up real quick, and she lifts her head up, and she says, "We must return now. When the walls close in and all seem lost, let your thoughts drift off to where paths first crossed. There lies the key to freedom's cost." And as she says that, you start seeing that sort of smoky, wispy effect again as you notice Durian reappearing in front of you.
About how much time were we there?
Indeterminable.
Okay.
To us.
You could try to make a perception roll to try to figure it out. It would be like a DC 23.
Can happen.
It can.
It didn't.
Indeterminable. Love the min here is the perfect evolution of beard growth. Yeah, thank you.
That is beautiful.
So you see the city begin to reappear through the smoky wisps, and you start hearing people like gasping, and you start hearing like murmurs start to chirp in, as Anris looks about and says, "The threads of truth have been unraveled, and the tapestry reveals no guilt upon these souls. By my judgment and the will of the court, they stand innocent. Release them at once, for their path is bound to greater destinies." As she says that, you hear like some gasps, you hear like some like claps out in the crowd, and one of the Durian guards sort of like ushers you out of the zone of truth. And he like kind of mumbles something, and he's like, "You're free to go."
What does he mumble?
Perception check.
With a 14. Oh no, we're gonna use that same perception check. Don't you worry.
It's a 13, don't worry.
With a 14, you just kind of hear him like through the crowd and everybody talking. You can't really make out much, but you just sort of hear like, "Yeah, I'm not guilty. You're free to go."
Cliff.
Yeah.
I feel like we missed. Like, I don't.
What would Esmeralda do? See?
So that's a fair point. You were there. So you see them like in an instant, like there's no special effects. They're standing there. You hear the Sphinx say, due to the, you know, the severity of this, that they'll be taken to a demiplane, and then they're not there anymore. Like not even in the blink of an eye. Like as you're looking at it, you're just like blip, gone. And it's only about 15 seconds or so, and blip, they're back.
Yeah, but I feel like given that they like disappeared in front of me,
Yeah.
she would have been like, if they're not coming back, you're gonna pay to the guard.
He would just give you sort of a quizzical look, and he says, "Have faith in the process. Mind your threats."
Oh no, this wouldn't have been like an out loud. It would have been like a whisper to him.
Well, he would still reply the same to you. Like, you're threatening the head guard of a fucking city.
You said it quietly.
You got the wrong man, homie. This ain't even my city.
So he would keep his cool the best he can in his position, and just basically say, "Have faith in the process. Mind your threats." And like really not much longer after him saying that, it would be like they're back. You would hear everybody gasp, and then all of a sudden,
Not guilty.
yeah, you'd hear it. So like literally 15 seconds is all they're gone. Probably a long 15 seconds for Esmeralda, but 15 seconds nonetheless. Which kind of ruins the fact that Adam rolled for it.
No, I wasn't talking about exterior. I was talking like how long did it feel like we were in there?
Oh, I mean like
The length of the conversation we just
Yeah.
had.
yeah.
Well, like how? I mean, I didn't know. I was like, does it feel like we were there for 20 minutes? Does it feel like we were there for an hour?
The real time, what we just had, sitting here talking.
Yeah. Like it happened in real time.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back. We're guided off, and we go straight to where our coffers are.
So like as you come back, you would see Esmeralda and the High Blade sort of exchanging looks at one another, and he would quickly break gaze and just sort of say like, I had my doubts that this would be as clean as it was, but I'm happy to see that it was.
It's not as clean as you think, and we need to get out of here as soon as possible.
I'm going to the coffer and just grabbing everything.
Yeah, we are like Nellis like whispers that basically in passing close to his ear, and then is continuing straight to coffer like bub 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 bub.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you start walking towards it, the guards that were like carrying it, they like open it up and like have it ready for you, and he the High Blade says, "So, what will you all do now?"
There's threats on our lives. We need to go.
Oh?
Onrus made us aware. We need to leave. Nella's looking around for the woman who doesn't belong.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, but I'm not good at it.
I'm looking for an orange balloon just because.
You're looking for what?
An orange balloon. I feel like there's many of them because it's a celebration.
There's too many people. I cannot find the woman who doesn't belong.
Yeah, so you all, eyes racing, darting around. So many sounds, so many sights going on. Go ahead and roll your perception, Adam. I'm making you do a different one for this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm average today.
You see a lot of orange balloons. A lot of the market stalls have balloons of multicolors. Some of them orange. There's
It's awful windy in Durian today.
There's a few balloons like kind of tied off to some of the sconces in the church here.
I love when it just says something. Vision, like, understood.
Yeah, Roderick's going to throw on his goggles, switch on the heat vision, and start looking around to see if anyone seems like their body heat is different than anyone else's.
Give me a con save, just for shiggles.
Alright.
As your senses are just absolutely fucking overwhelmed by the mass of people that are around you. Like, your vision is just like this orange, red, and purple medley of colors right now. No one seems abnormally hot nor cold that you notice. And you just see, like I said, just your senses are almost overwhelmed as you toggle this on in the midst of this crowd that's surrounding you all right now.
Okay, it was just going to be a quick thing to see if anything seemed out of place. He's taking them right back off.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
Desmond's gonna grab his stuff. As he's walking to go grab his stuff, sending a message to Esmeralda. And it's gonna be, I am going to act out of character in a moment. Play along. We are going to be traveling north. And once we are outside of the gates, hopefully we can all explain things further.
He's just gonna get a nod from her.
He's gonna go grab all of the stuff, walk over to Esmeralda, take her by the arm, and just walk north.
Okay.
She's just gonna follow.
Okay.
Nil's eyes widen, but they're not going to call out for him to stop and not go that way that has more alleyways where they said these people were waiting to jump them. But follow along quickly.
There's alleyways everywhere.
Less alleyways if you go south.
Okay. So, Roderick Thrain, I assume you're following as well?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so as you all walk out of the central plaza of the temple and begin making your way north, you all start to just notice just how many fucking orange balloons there are in this city.
Not even looking for them anymore. Any balloon pop is a trigger.
Sure. So like you're like watching as some of the signs are almost thrust in your face. You pass by a street performer who's playing a lute and has the case for the lute open, and there's an orange balloon tied to it, and you have to walk past him for it. And like as you walk past him, he's like singing a song at Nell, and he like turns and he bumps the balloon, and you see the balloon kind of like wobble a little bit as the case skitters, and you keep walking. You get about halfway between the gate and the temple, and you see these kids running around, and all of them have different balloons. You see a little girl running with a yellow balloon, and you see a little boy with an orange balloon. You see this small little tiefling child that has a green and a blue one, and they're running together, and the little girl ends up falling, and you see the orange balloon start to just float up into the sky. As you make it to basically where the exit is at, just before you get to the guardhouse, you see that they have part of the street blocked off, as they have a wedding procession that's happening, and it's kind of like off to the left, but like the people that are part of the crowd are sort of blocking the road that you would normally take. And you see
what a
that
weird day for a wedding. I'm just saying.
you see that the themes of the wedding are orange and white balloons. And as you all are moving through the crowd of these people, the bride, she leans in to kiss the groom, and as she does, the corsage that she has on her arm hits one of the orange balloons, and it pops. And as it does, for a moment, you all stop hearing the sounds of the city for just a brief second. What's everybody do in this singular instant?
Scan for who doesn't belong. Look for those holding weapons. Immediate, just like defense. Where?
Roderick utters the word guns, and his echo is going to appear like right next to him and like toss him his guns, and he's gonna just.
Okay. So the one thing Roderick does is summon his echo and get his guns. Nell, what are you doing? A perception roll to go along with that?
Yes. Does this count as something for fortitude, or is that only for saves? Saving throws, yeah. Okay. I was like, I want to know if I can redo this. I am
Okay.
not with it today. I'm really not.
Thrain, Esmeralda, Desmond. Esmeralda doesn't know what's going on, so
Yeah.
Didn't they go north?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
They went a separate direction than us?
No, everybody went together.
Thought
Where
also
did
we
you
going
go?
south.
No,
No.
about possibly
I said
going
south would have been easier, but Nell follows north.
Okay, yeah, I was sorry. I was in the middle of coming back. I'm like, what? I heard things. Shot in the dark. I'm going to. Where's this? Okay, I'm going to open my senses and use Eyes of the Grave, and that can't be set up like that because that knocks out both. I gotta unlock it. That's
Well,
stupid.
Is it a separate amount that you get, or is it all tied to the same?
It can use this feature equal to wisdom modifier.
Okay.
So I'll
Then
fix that later.
That's easy. Just do this,
Oh, okay.
and then yeah. There you go.
Ah, okay. And yeah, I'm a look for some undead, see if I can see any undead within 60 feet of me, and I get their location
You do not see any undead.
at all. None at all.
None at all.
Not even Desmond.
That doesn't count anymore.
It does.
It does. Yeah, that would still be a thing.
Okay.
But outside of that, no.
Okay.
Desmond.
Desmond, like, puts his arm around Esmeralda and like points up to one of the buildings, and as he does, he drinks his potion of swiftness.
Okay.
She's just like, what?
What's the potion of swiftness do?
Extra 10 feet of movement.
10 feet? Okay. Okay.
I feel like if seeing Roderick pull out his gun, she's gonna try and look around to see what the threat is.
Sure. Give me a perception check with disadvantage, because you don't know what you're looking for. There hasn't been enough time to fill you in on... Well, I guess...
Anything?
They both sucked, but... Would Desmond had been filling her in during the walk, or would it have been just kind of like a rush pace, not really talking, just trying to get through the city thing?
He would have been filling her in. I tried talking a bunch of times, but I got talked over, so I started doing other shit.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
So, okay, so it wouldn't be with disadvantage.
Okay. So reroll.
No, we're still keeping what you got. Like I said, they were both dookie, so it didn't really matter. But what was the first one? Was the first one a 3?
Yeah.
Dropped to 7. Second one, first one was 3. Okay. Okay, yeah. So the only thing that you would notice with a 7 really is the balloon pop that he would have warned you about, and then you see him point up to the gate as he's drinking his potion, and that distracts you from what you're looking at, and that's why you roll low on it. Is you're like surveying the land for a second, and then he points up and you look up. Nell, you would notice, next to where the bride is at, there is a cart, and inside the cart is that marble statue that was being finished when you were walking into the city. That is a replica of the bride. And you see that like she's sort of standing there with her hand like this, and there is a piece of paper that looks like it is stuck onto her hand that is flapping in the wind. As you notice that, all of a sudden you see this flash of light on the ground, and all of a sudden you see this shoot up from the ground, almost like confetti, but it's just these dazzling colors that shoot out for a moment. And as it does, you notice all of the wedding guests kind of stand there dazed for a moment. Can everybody here please give me a charisma saving throw?
Is this a gas effect?
It is not.
Aura of protection.
Should be all. Oh, because we're not physically within 10 feet of you.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Those within 10 feet of me get bonus to saving throws equal to my charisma modifier +1.
Yeah, I have that automated, but there's not. You guys aren't on a battle sheet, so it doesn't matter.
+3 total.
Yeah, so everybody will add
All right.
3 to your totals. It's fine.
4.
3.
Because it's charisma modifier +1, so it's 4.
Did you up your charisma modifier? Your charisma?
What?
Because I'm looking at your aura of protection here on the combat tracker. It's 3 right now. I don't know if you upped your charisma. As now it's 4.
It's charisma +1.
Yeah, so it should be 4, not 3, because my charisma modifier is 3, so it should be 4.
I just have it set up as charisma, so that's my bad.
And that's what we've been using it as. I think this is the first time I'm hearing the +1.
I may have written it wrong on my cheat sheet. Minimum bonus. Oh, never mind. It says minimum bonus of +1, so it is +3. I lied to you.
Okay, let's say I just have it built as +3, so I'll double check, but that's fine. So anyways, everybody will add 3 to it, that's fine. So that's a 25, 18, 26, 3.
Hey, can I use my 19 on that?
You sure can, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I haven't made mine yet. You charisma saving throw, which is on main. I'm so bad at this. I never remember where anything's located. I didn't mean to click it twice.
You didn't.
No, you didn't.
You-
You just used your feature that allows you to get advantage on it.
I forgot.
So 29.
I'm glad you used it because
That should be a 26. You added 3 to it, but the 3 was already accounted for in yours.
Oh, okay.
So
Either
only
way, I
only
think I got
26. Only 26.
Think I got
DC was 27. No joking.
Fuck!
So you all see these dazzling lights go off from this sigil, and you catch yourself almost being hypnotized by it for a moment, and then the gravity of the situation hits you and you snap out of it. Everybody does it. Roderick, without that +3, you would not have.
I'm so glad that he was close enough to me.
So you all snap out of it for a moment, and as you look around, you start seeing people are running towards you. And Nell, this is particularly upsetting to you because you recognize some of these people. And they are running towards you with blades out. And you see a couple people in the background begin doing the Samaic motions of a spell. You all have one, we'll call it round. What are you doing during this round because you did not get glamored by this sigil?
So exactly where Desmond is pointing, poof, he appears on the building. He is going to blessing the dusk the fuck out of there.
Okay. What else? You get like a full action, so think of action, bonus action, movement.
how close are they to me?
Who?
The nearest person running at me with a knife.
Feet. Like mere feet from you. Like they are. Them collapsing upon you is imminent.
Okay. Okay. Wait for that.
I guess he's gonna blur himself too.
Okay.
So another note from Roderick, and Desmond's makeshift echo starts to peel from him.
Okay.
How many? You know, fuck it. I'm just doing it. It's an action. I'm gonna go look to the closest, like where I see the biggest concentration of them, and reach out and just throw my hand in the air and cast color spray.
Wait, like you just don't.
You are counterspelled.
Oof.
Luckily, that was my free spell.
Uh.
Let me bring that back. I technically use it like that. Okay. These need to be like that. Yeah, cool.
You know what they can counterspell, Adam? Smoke powder barrels.
They really can, can't they?
What does
Okay.
counterspell do?
basically
Spell
makes it
does
so you
not
can't.
do.
Yeah, whatever spell you were trying to do, they stop you from doing it. So as a reaction to seeing someone casting a spell, you can attempt to counterspell that.
Is it like one?
It's a spell. It's a spell.
No, I know, but like, is it affected towards like all of us or just like
Nope,
Just
one?
the one spell that's being cast.
Just the
Yep.
caster, yeah.
It's just stopping Adam at the moment. But they can probably cast it again. But not this round, because they've used their reaction.
Other people can though.
Depending on how many casters there are.
And how many of them are high enough level to have counterspell.
So, Cliff, just question for you. It's one spell per round, technically, yes?
What do you mean?
Because you can only cast one spell per turn, right?
Yeah, can't you
Like
cast
one
the second
physical
one if it's
spell?
a cantrip?
If it's the cantrip.
Yeah.
Would my Shadow Touch spell, even though it does not consume a spell slot, count as a spell? It's a free cast due to my feet.
Yes, it's still a spell.
It's still okay. Never mind then. And that's an action anyway, so.
Do I have to roll for that?
For invisibility?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
You're counterspelled.
It's not towards them. I thought counterspells was only like.
It's a spell. Any
If
spell
they
that you
can,
cast.
if they can see you casting a spell, they can counterspell it.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's fair if you're the one who has the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if I painted this picture good enough for you. It's not meant to be fair right now.
So Desmond put his arm around you, pointed somewhere, then immediately teleported to that spot.
Yes, but I don't know how far away that is.
He
Guys can
teleported.
tele-
teleport the same
We have the
distance.
same racial though.
I know, but you also took a potion of swiftness on my brain. It's like you
That-
needed it for that.
No.
That
That's
just
for
makes
me
them
to
run
get the fuck
faster.
out of here faster.
I can't. Why am I looking at the? That's fine. That's gonna be it for me. I'm not going to. Rajay yet.
Okay, so now that I have that
Oh,
information,
rage.
can I cancel the
Took me way too
invisibility
long.
and just poop over there?
I believe it's a bonus
Visibility is
action.
an action. The teleport's a bonus action.
Yeah, but say you can't cancel what you did, no, but you can still poof over there, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys both poofed up on like the gate.
Yeah, just whatever furthest range on top of a structure that we can get.
Well, you guys were near the gate, so you could get on top like the wall, or you could get on top of a house. I mean, you let me know which way are you going.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is the
then gate.
highest.
Okay. So yeah, you can make it on top of the wall.
Okay.
Okay. Roderick Nell.
Disengage to, not really provoke bonus,
Yeah, you don't need to disengage. No one's within melee range
Okay.
of you right now.
Okay. You said feet, so I was like,
Yeah, but that's where I was going. I was like, wait a second. I can, slice with an offhand attack, but you said not melee.
I'm gonna go get that note.
Sure.
Piece of paper in that hand.
Yeah. So as you run over there, you grab this piece of paper, and it is a scroll of teleportation.
Hell yeah.
Which says that
Question.
you and up to 7 people that you can see can be teleported to a destination of your choice. If you have been there and you know it intimately, it's guaranteed that you can make it there. If you haven't been there or if you're not that familiar with it, then we have to roll on a table to see how closely to the destination you make it.
How far away was the statue?
Not too far on the other side of the crowd, so maybe like 15
I'll be able to
feet.
look around and see you as I read this scroll.
Well, what's the range on it?
Within sight.
Is teleportation within sight?
Like,
or is it
each
touch?
one of you that I can see within sight, and it has to be a place that I know, and I'm looking to teleport
to
the birthplace of good and evil.
To the birthplace of good and evil? Okay.
It is a discreet location that nobody else will be at. That Nell knows intimately because I double nat 20'd.
That's fair. Yeah, I won't make you roll for that one.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it says, if you did have me write a little note, it says, if desired to return to the birthplace of good and evil, they will find it easily. 2 investigation crits, woohoo. Small stone towers created in the dip in the earth, blah, blah, blah.
I don't remember writing woohoo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't.
I'm pretty sure we told you.
No, you told me to write things, and I have a little, asterisk. Double crit, woohoo!
Yeah, I won't make you roll for that one. So, as you grab that, and begin reading, you see the spell shoot out from one of the people within eyesight of you. As you see this bolt of lightning begin to head towards you, and you all blip out. You find yourselves standing in a field, and it's one that for 4/5 of the party is fairly fresh in the mind.
Nell just, falls on the ground, I'm so glad I saw this!
Didn't they say was it where we all met? Wouldn't that be Truded?
Desmond's looking around with his weapon drawn and is pointing around and why are you on the ground? Get up.
Because I teleported to a non-discreet location that others would not know that we could possibly be.
Has that ever stopped anyone before? Specifically the hag.
We need to keep moving.
Desmond sheaths his weapon, starts walking. No laying around.
Nell was already getting up after the sigh. And they're just starting to trek down to, as they would down towards, in the direction of Elm Hollow, to head towards Truded. That's right, where Passper's Clutch is the location of Freedom's Cost.
So, where you're all at, technically, you've all had thoughts and ideas of the what to do next. And ironically enough, you sort of find yourselves kind of in the middle of all of those things, depending on where you wanted to go to. You're not far from Karen Crawl. You're not far from the Towering Wilds. You're not far from Sea Bluff. You're not far from Truded.
It's pretty center of Amethil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Desmond, as he looks around and takes in where he's at, he pauses, stops walking. Where are we headed next?
I'll pull out the map that Coolby sent us.
And
we're real close to here, pointing at the Towering Wilds.
He'll straighten out his coat. I am sorry for how I was acting, Esmeralda. I needed to keep you close and in range of what I had planned.
Yeah. I said we're close to the Towering Wilds.
There's the location in the Towering Wilds, yes. I'm not sure if we want to immediately go into chasing runes, or if
What else are we supposed to do?
Desmond's gonna like nudge Roderick. Let's go to Carrion Crawl.
What's there?
Your friend said that there was someone from Dracarius or someone that they knew that was roaming there.
Was that where? Yeah, let's go there. We need all the help we can get.
My only thought is because we needed to go to the location where paths first cross, as stated by Onrus. Should we not be going to Truded?
So for clarity, she says essentially when the walls close in and all seems lost, let your thoughts
Right.
drift to where paths first cross. So she's not saying you have to go that way. She's basically
Thoughts
saying
drift.
if all else fails,
Return, got it.
yeah,
Mhm.
because that is a location that you wouldn't have to roll for essentially. That would have been a guaranteed 100% no matter what.
Okay.
Got it. Megan overthought it and went, but there might be people looking for us in Truded, so we're gonna pick somewhere where there's gonna be fucking no one.
Okay. Also, after the shock had worn off of her just being teleported out of nowhere, she's gonna look at Desmond. That's fine. But where are we?
In the middle of Amethil.
The birthplace of good and evil.
That's a name that got thrown around. But
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it's a nondescript location that we are intimately familiar with, that I chose because no one else would be here.
I wouldn't say I'm that intimate with this area, but Sea Bluff is across the way over there in that direction, and where we came from is south a few weeks in that direction by just walking.
You said every square is 2 days walking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's just gonna kind of nod and just like keep looking around, try and get her
We're-
bearings.
We're basically in the middle of nowhere.
The middle of everywhere. It's a close shot to a lot of places. Well, close enough. Centralized. And Nell's going to close their eyes, and they're clearly casting something for the next 10 minutes as they are finding their seed.
Okay. What is the duration of a short rest? Is it 30?
Hour.
We can rest if necessary. Nell is already going to be spending 10 of those minutes doing something.
Won't be a rest for you though.
No, I'm only taking 10 minutes, but it's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah, no, I was just asking just for my.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what you need to do, like short rest, we've been kind of loosey goosey with it. Hour by textbook definition, but it's depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
I mean, if it makes sense that you could just sit there and chill for a little while, then do that. If you're in the middle of like something happening, then I'm gonna be more strict with like, yeah, it's gonna take an hour.
There goes a fucking spell slot already.
Desmond's tapped. We got a camp.
Why did this only do one on me?
Let's put a long rest. Yes.
So, while Nell is finding their steed, are you all making a decision on what the next step's going to be?
Yeah, I'm gathered around the map that the rain pulled out and just looking it over.
Either one, we're slightly closer to Towering Wilds, but it's still always Karen Crawl is not that much farther.
I would rather get somewhere resourceful so I can start gathering knowledge rather than looking for these godforsaken runes.
If you're looking for knowledge, the closest place is Sea Bluff, then, not Carrion Crawl, a pit in the ground.
Going near cities is not going to be a good idea for us right now. We don't know who is one of these. We don't know any of these shapeshifters, how many there are, how far they stretch. So for right now, I'm with Desmond. We need to be away from populations right now.
Which is either the wilds or Carrion Crawl.
I say Carrion Crawl. We got tipped off by Roderick's friend, and if he's as strong as rumors make him out to be, maybe he has some knowledge that'll help me or us or the Eclipsean Order.
I agree.
I appreciate the sigil on your jacket, by the way, Desmond. I know that you don't take symbolism lightly.
Let's do Carrion Crawl. We can at least get some, hopefully, back up there too, or something.
But this isn't a voting system. If we are still who we symbolize, we're following orders, so make the call.
Nell, again interrupts their chanting to just open one quick eye. I was going to direct to either Towering Wilds or Carrion Crawl. We are fine. Carrion Crawl it is. Just be alert. There is known for devil spawn to be walking.
At least we know what side they're on.
Their own.
Very true. I like his thinking.
That's
Me
dangerous.
too.
I know.
So, Carrion Crawl it is. You all can follow the path, which would be 2 days per square. You can attempt to cut through, but it's going to take longer. And precisely how much longer is going to be based on... Well, it's going to be longer per square, I should say. Like, total time might not be longer. Longer per square, but it's going to be based on how well you can navigate the woods. Because for the uninitiated with the Towering Wilds, it gets its name because the trees there are ginormous. Like, think of like giant redwoods. Like, that's what like a lot of this forest is comprised of. It swallows the mountain ranges that are within here. You don't even notice they're there because the trees are so big. And it is not an easy place to navigate through. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at, yeah, I would probably go through the woods too, because you're looking at like 12 days if you do the formed path.
Yeah.
That's a lot walking. We walk all over this continent, and my brain was, it's great for you finding your steed now.
Right.
What about us?
Nell's gonna be riding her horse while we're all walking behind.
Right. I wasn't saying anything because we don't know what you're casting.
Right. We just got here and Nell immediately said
It's good to be the king.
10-minute mark. Nell's cast finishes. Last words would be in Elvish, which is the name of their horse. Hiswe Nune. And from the direction of Sandscale, almost just billowing fog comes tumbling before she arrives at their side.
Last thing Nell says in Elvish, who's a good girl? It appears.
Hiswe Nune does not mean who's a good girl, but okay.
I know what it means. Only because I can read it. But yeah, so you all see this steed appear.
Nell just takes off their backpack and starts, like, attaching it to the saddle and stuff, and just like, it'll make all of our lives easier if we don't have to carry as much weight.
Well, I mean, we walked from True to Sandskill with it.
Desmond like holds onto his bag tight.
Esmeralda's gonna kind of like look at herself and be like,
Roger's gonna offload his bag without a moment's hesitation.
I'm waiting for you to say it. Roderick's gonna hop on.
So, like, where did you get this from?
You don't recognize her? It's the same horse I've been riding all along.
Oh. Okay, can you call the rest of ours?
I
'Cause that would
apologize.
be
Paladin
handy.
bullshit. I'm only allowed one steed. And I used some of the downtime while we were in Sandscale to bind her to me.
Fine.
I was thinking we could all take turns to rest on her as necessary.
All right, I'll round the back.
We're walking, Roderick.
We're all able-bodied right now.
Fine.
As Nell says we're all able-bodied right now, they look to Thrain. You are feeling better now, aren't you?
Yeah. Fine enough.
If you need rest, know you can ride her.
So disappointed in you, Adam.
Why?
You could have did a performance role. You could have been like, oh, I need to ride the horse.
Desmond like walks past Thrain. Come on, champion. Let's get going.
Does Nell react to that if Nell hears that? Because Nell doesn't know about that.
Noah Roderick.
No, Roderick. Or Esmeralda's.
Champion?
Desmond will get a look like.
Yeah, Nell would have caught on to that being more than just calling him champ. Eyebrow
Yes.
raised.
I guess
Something
we do
to
have
share
time.
with the rest of the class. We've got time while we walk.
Yeah.
We should get walking then. Desmond is still walking. Doesn't turn around to say
Nell had
this.
started walking immediately after all this.
Blaine would have been still standing there. And then just standing there giving you just shaking his head, kind of almost like a playful glare. And then as you get about 30 feet away, he'll just poof right next to you. Really? Like that?
So you can just do that at will now.
Kinda.
Roderick nudges Nell. Hmm?
He's not just a short Shatterkai.
After hearing that, you're gonna see Esmeralda look back at them. Do I want to know?
Apparently, there's a lot to share.
Yeah. So I don't know how long I poofed for the first time that I did it by myself. But for me, it felt timeless. And as you noticed, my magic is different color now. As I'm not sure I get my powers from Moradin anymore. I was killed by a Deathwalker. Or so I've been told.
Nightwalker.
Nightwalker. That one. And according to Desmond, the only way to come back from that via the wish spell. Where I went during all this was some place called the Negative. He'll give a questioning look towards Desmond.
Desmond will like nod after every statement that you say.
Which was a step farther than the Shadowfell? Is it deeper?
Deeper.
And when I fell, there was just this emptiness. Nothing there. Like, wasn't even black, just nothingness. And I heard a voice call out to me, asking if I wanted to embrace death or accept it and become their divine champion. And so I became a divine champion. Someone.
Question is to whom?
He has the blessings of the Raven Queen and the magic of one of our houses. So I'm making some assumptions at the moment, but I still have no leads or have yet to gain any knowledge back.
It's the only direction it points in. It's a pretty great direction. Well, congratulations on that, Thrain. I'm grateful that you did not die there.
I still haven't fully processed it.
Nell puts their hand on his back and just lets out a big grin. It's never easy for anything like this to happen, but to be embraced by a god, I can only imagine. Nell says as if they didn't almost become the champion of ball.
But to release yourself from another, I don't know how to feel about that. That's
Can you not
something.
worship both?
I don't even know who I'm worshiping now.
But nobody said you had to stop worshiping Morden. You can still use that familiarity to find peace, to find knowledge. He might not answer like he used to, but he's still there to listen.
I mean, even I know gods are kind of jealous bitches, so I don't know if that will work.
I was told I could either go to staying with Morden's empty meat hall or embrace this.
Considering Morden was still fueling your magic before this incident, I doubt he had truly turned himself away from you completely. Wouldn't he have dismissed you?
You would think.
Again, even if he had, that doesn't mean you have to turn your back on him.
We, on this side, are welcome you with open arms.
Like I said, I still haven't fully processed it.
I mean, hey, I hate to be that guy. I don't.
What?
I'm glad you're so welcoming to Thrain and his new abilities and everything. Hey, you all kept this from, not necessarily me, but the leader of our order. And you kept us kind of in the dark, and you haven't even, no part of anything that you said explains why you didn't say anything until now. So
I talked to Desmond about this because these are the features that I've seen only him use. I don't know how to process this. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not open with my life yet.
Not only that, but it was none of your business to begin with. It had nothing to do with you or your races.
These matters.
hold on, new girl. You just got here. What are you talking about? We've been through some stuff. We've died together. You just got here. How is it more your business than ours? How is it more your business? You're not even a part of this group. You don't have a symbol. He pulls his out of his bag. Look at this. You got one? No.
Esmeralda only found out recently. As you know, Esmeralda showed up after this all started. While I was... He doesn't chuckle to me.
I know.
I didn't know how to process this and everything that happened. And when I initially used the blessing with Desmond's guidance, I saw the shadow fell. So I recognized it for what it was. And I wanted to know what I was dealing with, what all transpired. No offense to you, Roderick, but there is so much about me you don't know for reasons that are personal. I don't know everything about you, do I?
No, I get that. And like I said, I excluded myself. Maybe for whatever reason, I did need to know. But Nell did.
And I told Nell that I would tell them after I confirmed things with Desmond. I don't know if they remember that because we were rather drunk, but I did.
These matters of occurrence and changes don't change anything and haven't changed anything about the Eclipsean Order. They were not need to be brought up to anyone's attention. These are matters that concern the Shadowfell and my kingdom.
I disagree. We have all been in this together. And if I am wearing this blindfold because trust is not only an issue with other people, but trusting my own very eyes has become a problem since we all got into this mess. Trust is very, very slim right now. And keeping important information, whether it's from your kingdom or not, regardless if it's from this world or the next, we're all in this situation where we have people who can change faces at an instant, people who are digging into our dreams and manipulating us. We don't need to sow more seeds of distrust, is what I'm saying. So if you didn't feel I needed to know, because no, I don't know anything about where you're from or the magics and all that stuff. But if we are going off and have to find out later on that Thrain died and came back under some new puppet master among the many that we already have, that's kind of important information.
It may be important to you and myself, but when your whole life that revolves around one specific thing where I get everything I can do, and then in the span of seconds, changes. And you know one person who might understand it because this is where they're from. Should I really go out spreading terror among us over something I don't even understand?
We're not.
Because that's what that would do, Roderick. If I say, hey, I just died, how would you feel? How would Nell feel? How would Nell react to, hey, I just died?
It would give us an opportunity to ask questions and get a better understanding instead of just guessing as to why things are suddenly weird.
You would ask questions that I haven't even fully answered myself. I don't know if you noticed, I was quiet for a real long time after that happened because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to feel about everything. I didn't know if everything I knew, everything I grew up with was just gone because I said one word. When my life with this group was hanging in the balance because of one word I said, and if I said the wrong thing to the wrong person, I'm sorry, Nell has a lot on their plate. I talked to someone who didn't have quite as much and that might have more information. And then guess what? I told Nell, hey, I think this is going on, but I need to confirm this first. You may not have been there for that conversation, but I told Nell. And then he'll walk off. Okay, walk ahead.
You know, it's fine. It's, you know what? You're all right. Crazy old Roderick. It's better this way. We'll continue on like this.
For what it's worth, Roderick, I have no memory of the conversation. I had quite a few shots of dwarven make in that span. I appreciate that you had told me, and I trust that you did.
It's okay. I know how alarmed you would be even if I was right. So it's okay. I'll keep it all right to myself.
Just so my memory serves right, that was
2 nights?
48 hours ago?
Mm-hmm. Last night we didn't do anything about our prep.
48 hours ago. Okay.
Man, out of game, it feels like a long time, though.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been 3 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been that long?
2.5, 3 sessions.
Wow, yeah.
After Roderick says the stuff about the trust, Esmeralda is gonna look at him. I understand your need for trust, but if you guys have been through what you said you have been through, then why are you fighting so hard to get information that was going to be willingly given, just not within your timeline?
No, it's perfectly fine. You're all right. What does Roderick know? Also, if you cast a spell on me again, I'm going to shoot you. Fair warning. So anyways.
She's gonna look at him.
Roderick, why didn't you tell anyone about the blindfold earlier?
Tell anyone about what the blindfold that I've been wearing the past week?
You just started wearing it. You didn't tell anyone about it. You didn't tell anybody about it right away. You waited the day.
How would that impact anything that's happening?
Why are you wearing a blindfold all of a sudden?
I think you're missing my point. Things that could affect others.
How does this affect you?
Especially in this group. This allows me to trust what I am perceiving around me.
No. How does what I did affect you? How does what my changes affect you directly? Or Nell directly? I'm
because there's no one outside of Arlo's circle except the one that you guys call Coin are people that I trust. Then New Girl shows up. All of a sudden things start getting weird, including me acting very, very afraid at the sheer mention of some words from her, which, again, no one casting spells. I'm on to you. And then you're all being secretive, go off to your little room. I find Nell by themselves and say, hey, what's going on? They say they don't know. Like, oh, so you two plus new mystery girl all having some secret meeting without us. Fine. Again, if it doesn't include me, that's fine. Why doesn't Nell get to know? Especially since apparently they've been spending many nights in Desmond's room, having little discussions.
I'm sorry, what?
He mentions that there was.
No, I couldn't hear what Christina said.
Oh.
I said that she's gonna side eye Desmond.
Desmond straight face still, just like staring between Roderick and Nell.
You know how many times a
It's
week?
not like that. It is just us. I'm awake 2 hours longer than both you and Thrain. I just
Not like what? What are?
Hey, what are you talking about?
flushed. All we do is discuss the Shadowfell. Nothing there is meant to be secrets. I'm just trying to learn more of the culture of my forefathers and those who may join my kingdom.
All the more reason you should have been a part of this discussion. But hey, again, silly me. That sounds stupid. None of the I say makes sense. I'm the crazy one.
We'll table this for later.
Of course.
Tempers are running hot.
We're always
later.
tabling it for later. That table's pretty full now.
We have a few days worth of travel. Are we going to walk that entire time on edge?
No. I appreciate you telling me now, Thrain. Would I have appreciated knowing that some extra planar being spoke to you and provided you power? Yes. But I also trust you enough to know that you have been going through more mentally. Roderick, I appreciate your concern and that you would like me to be alerted as the leader of the group, as somebody with ancestry to the Shadowfell, as myself as a friend. But I do also want you all to not feel like you have to tell me everything. I want you to have personal, private lives. Even if it doesn't seem so private now that we are walking and living together in close quarters constantly.
Roderick just kind of looks over and his echo appears next to him. Like, am I saying it wrong? Like, what? How? I am not saying we need to just give all secret information. Okay? Okay, let's just imagine for a moment. This is some sort of military. Yeah? And there's ranks. And half the men are suddenly feeling ill just before a big battle. And they decide, you know what? It's probably nothing. We should not tell our commanding officer. And then, the next day when they're supposed to give this big battle, and then, the leadership has not had the information they needed to know that their men are not as well as they should be, proceed with the plan, and then all of a sudden they die because the leader was not able to pivot the plans around this new information that affected them directly. Having a new god whispering in your ear is kind of crucial.
Do you not understand that I did not understand that I had a new god until 24 hours after the fact?
But
I don't understand.
died.
Yeah. Do you not understand that I didn't process that fully until Desmond fully told me the second time that like we had that conversation?
He was sick for the entire day.
Do you not realize I didn't even know I fully processed that? How am I supposed to tell someone else that?
You don't have to.
That's what you're saying. I have to tell everybody everything about my life changes. That's how you're saying it.
In my example I just gave,
Roderick, just like Nell was saying, tempers are getting hot. Let's curb this for today before I do something I shouldn't, please. And you'll see him start getting worked up like a rage would usually come on, but this one is not intentional.
Roderick looks over to his echo. Wasn't I the one to say I was going to shut the fuck up and not say anything else? And then he brought it back up, and now he's mad at me for fucking retorted. Fine. Yep. Fine. Yep. Crazy Roderick.
Question. So I know Roderick isn't a fan of me, but how is his echo acting towards me?
Oh,
They're
giving
the
you
same
stink eye.
It's the same person from a different realm.
Yeah.
Yes, but Cliff was saying that when Roderick was under the spell, the echo was not.
Mm-hmm. They are two separate beings, but they're the same person from a different
Just a
realm, if you
clone.
will. And they
Yeah.
talk to each other fucking constantly. Anytime he's
time.
not talking with the group, he's talking to his echo.
Because for some reason they agree with each other on everything. It's weird.
It's like an echo chamber in there.
yeah.
Aw.
Hey.
Boo. But yeah, so like, I'm sure Roderick has shared his thoughts to his echo about Esmeralda. And I'm sure, by proxy, the echo agrees.
Nell is going to walk with Roderick and be digging through their backpack, and they are taking out the journal that was found among the bounty hunters. Roderick, I just want to make you aware that the bounty hunters had been in Foreign. The ones that came after us. The people there dismissed him immediately, said that you weren't there. And that apparently, according to the journal, they pass it over and they can say, he can read basically that, do what you want with them. We'd tell you where he was if we knew.
You say you're going to let Roderick read that?
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
The guy with the blindfold who can't read.
Right. Nell will read it out loud. I forgot the whole illiterate portion, and it wasn't thinking about the blindfold.
It's like, here, it's in Braille. I still can't read it.
I don't know how to read Braille. Before we continue on, Drake Takes, thanks for the raid. I appreciate y'all. I wanted to let the RP play out before I said anything. But thank you so much. Hope you had a good session. And thank you for bringing everybody here. So as y'all continue to walk, game plan is beeline through the towering wilds to the giant fuck off hole in the ground.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Who is going to be leading the way and ensuring that you all navigate properly through these woods?
I feel like given that I know nothing, I'm gonna be like towards the back.
Roderick Thrain, I know you two know most about maneuvering through wilds. Roderick, I know you know more about foresty wilds. If you would please help lead us through.
You're all elves. Forest is your thing. I'm just following.
So that is a stereotype and not true, and I've lived in a city my entire life.
So we're looking maybe weeks travel through the woods. I know that. Maybe a little bit more depending on how directly we go.
In which area around the pit to the hells this individual would be?
Mm-hmm. That's just to get there, not let alone walk around it. That's different story altogether. I'll take point trying to lead us through.
All right. Can I please have a survival roll at disadvantage because you are not in the mood to be doing this? All right. So you guys start making your way through the Towering Wilds. So it'll take a day or so before you get to the Towering Wilds, moving across the plains and through the grassland area. And by the time, given it as early as it is, by the time night falls, you all should be seeing the imposing silhouette of the Towering Wilds in front of you. Do you all want to camp outside in the open, or would you rather camp within the cover of the woods?
Outside the woods. I sleep outside, and then we can go in when it's daylight and still be pitch black.
Okay.
I was thinking right on the edge.
I don't know what's in there. It's gonna come up on us tonight.
Very true.
All right. So you all, as the sun is setting, behind you, you set up camp on the outskirts, and it's all sort of an eerie feeling in this area. The trees are so large and imposing that, like, even from a pretty decent distance away, with as quiet as it is out here, you can hear the creaking of their giant limbs swinging, where it constantly sounds like something is moving in the woods. You all can do one downtime event if you would like.
A non-downtime event that will be happening is letting Quill Wise know what the fuck happened.
Okay.
We don't have to RP it, but he will be caught up to speed.
Sure. It's up to you if you want to RP it or not. But
He might have some words to say or some guidance.
Then let's double tap that rock.
say no to crack, Megan.
You can't stop me. It's just the heart-shaped rock.
If you were me, then I'd be you, and I'd use your body to get to the top.
What?
You can't stop me no matter who you are. Loser. I don't know why
a
that
quote I don't know.
made me think of Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
Part 2. So you activate the stone, and you what do you say? Like, what's your opener?
Good afternoon, Fertilizer.
What the? Don't do that!
How am I supposed to start it?
I don't know. How?
Not right.
My papers are everywhere.
I'm sorry for startling you. Not sure if news has traveled to you yet, but we have been found innocent by the Sphinx, which we sort of knew we would.
I am elated to hear such. Admittingly, I did have some ears there that did let me know.
Do your ears there have any information on the happenings of afterwards?
Happenings of afterwards.
Yes. Honors the Sphinx brought us to a demiplane, and there, they let us know that we were in grave danger by an organization referred to as the Silver Masquerade, which is also the name of its leader, and that there would be a pop of an orange balloon, a full smattering of some sort of dust, and then if we did not act quickly, our blood would be spilled. And she was right. Luckily, through quick action and advice by Onris, we were able to get a hold of a scroll of teleportation and get the hells out of there.
Well, thank the gods you did. No, I haven't heard of anything that happened afterwards. I had Kip there, and he had stepped aside away from the crowd to report that you were found innocent, and by the time he had finished, you were gone.
We moved very quickly under the wise words of Onris.
But he didn't report anything of the sort happening.
It was towards the north end. There's a chance that he just hadn't gone that way afterwards.
I will see what I can find out, but if there was some large-scale attack on the city, I feel that I would have heard of that.
No, the city turned to attack us after what I can only assume was some sort of charm.
Fascinating.
They did say there were changelings that were
In the masses.
in the masses, being faces of not their own, or of people they might know.
Yeah, changelings. They...
Some of the people who turned to attack us were people that I knew well.
Well, this is all very disturbing. I will look to see what I can figure out of this Silver Masquerade, but you're all safe?
Yes. And I'm not sure if you've been introduced, so to say, to Desmond's friend who is joining us, Esmeralda. But she's here with us now.
His friend?
A fellow Shatterkai.
What?
Am I able to hear any of this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out loud. It's like a rock that's a walkie-talkie.
He's on speakerphone.
Just watch Sin fly back into his chair. Like, hold up.
You hear Roderick from the back. I know, right?
Yes, sent by his sister, one of her friends.
You hear
Also-
like papers like being like rummaged through for a second, and then you hear him. And Esmeralda, which house do you come from?
The House of Blue, House of Night.
Yeah, so she's just gonna say that. But who is it? Who was asking?
This is our archivist, another member of the Eclipsean Order, Quillwise Scrivenbow.
At your service.
Why does he need to know where I come from?
I miss
curiosity.
I miss the Shatterkai.
Oh, Quillwise. Some shit happened outside Sandskill.
I sincerely hope there's more to this than that. What did you do?
I may have died via a Nightwalker.
You must be mistaken.
And
It's true.
was somehow brought back as a divine champion of someone from either the negative or the Shadowfell. And now I have the same blessing that Desmond has.
This is the part where you tell me the punchline.
My magic's a little purpley now.
That is not possible.
He has the blessings of my god and a house. The house. I can't talk right now. And one of the houses forms of magic. Specifically, the House of Gloom.
You hear his voice like off in the distance, like he had walked away, and he's like,
He's just pacing.
"You'd think after all of this that I would be used to this, but it still catches me off guard every time."
Esmeralda, this is who my family went through to gain me access to Amethil and the Eclipsean Order, by the way.
Oh, my apologies, sir.
It's quite all right. I'm used to it.
Everybody's always looking down on the little guy.
Hey, no short jokes. You're not even that much taller than me.
How tall is Quillwise?
Like 3 foot
Okay.
10 or something like that.
Hey, Esmeralda's closer in height to you than I am.
Okay, so from what I am seeing here, if you were killed by a Nightwalker, the only way that you could be revived would be with a wish spell. So unless Nell happened to find a scroll of wish laying around, I don't see how this is possible.
Define intervention. Apparently, we are important to too many greater beings than us. Nell's looking up at the sky yelling.
Did I mention I was the divine champion for said person?
Stop it.
Is what they said.
And hold. As a man of the cloth, were you not taught to just... You don't accept bargains from otherworldly creatures without knowing the terms?
Not otherworldly to some of us.
Nell's
I'm-
definitely laughing.
When I am floating between life and death and given the opportunity to either embrace death or accept it, I
Chose to wield it like a blade.
I would have chose to become one with the weave, but we are different people. Well, I inducted 2 new recruits. That's all I got. You win. Did Roderick sprout wings? Like, what else happened?
Well, Roderick wears a blindfold now because he doesn't trust his own eyes, and he can somehow navigate around with 0 issues despite that.
Somehow,
enough in life.
not weird.
I've got almost as much enlightenments as you now.
I don't know what that means, but I'm proud
None
of
of
you.
us do, but he keeps saying it.
Roderick, I'm proud of you. Just know that.
Quillwise, would you know of a cavern outside of Sandscale where there was potentially a fight or something, that there's a lot of gold, gold statues?
Gold scimitars in said statue's hands that are no longer in said statue's hand.
No.
But in Roderick's hand.
Yeah, but yeah.
Roderick's twirling it around.
It's nice, right?
No, that doesn't ring a bell to me. But in the days of the old temple that was there, there were many caverns and sects that were divided up for worship. The temple was originally a temple to a dragon god, if I remember correctly, and there was 7 separate monasteries that were connected to it, all for worships of the different dragons.
So, also in the the Shadowfell, Sand Scale, in Sand Scale. While we and the Dragon Guard were making efforts to dig down to the old temple to get to the rune, which we did end up getting. Upon leaving, the temple sunk into the ground and seems like another impossible pit to maybe the hells. I threw a torch down. It did not sound like it ever hit a bottom, and I lost sight of it.
Okay, I'm gonna purposefully ignore a lot of what you just said, and I'm going to focus on you saying you found the rune.
We have 2 runes.
What does it do?
They don't do anything.
Did you study this
holding
one?
No, I am assuming because the last one did nothing but sit there.
Go hand it to Desmond, the new one.
Nothing but get really hot.
This one doesn't, as I'm just holding it.
It only got hot when you tried to read the symbol on it. And Desmond just has the new one in his hand. He's like twirling it around, looking at it.
I'm assuming that one has carvings in it as well.
Hmm?
I don't know if you wish to send Ava or Eva with a drawing of this one to him. So, which, by the way, did you ever end up getting any knowledge off of the other one that we had sent you an image of this rune for?
I did, but I feel like it's not complete, or it's some cipher. I need to see the rune to better understand it.
There's also that we know these are all fractured pieces of the crown, so of course they're not going to be complete unless they are all together.
Understood, but each one is a piece of the whole. Like they're individual pieces that were combined to make this. And based on the changes that have happened with each attack, they have to do something. We just don't know what they do yet. So, Desmond, if you want, study that one. If you can send me drawings of the symbols that are in it, I'll see if this one makes more sense. Or maybe if I can put the two together and figure out something with this cipher.
I can't send you drawings. I am currently using Ava for a means of information. The last time I tried to decipher what the rune did back at Dune Scroll, it tried to embed itself back in its casing. And if I try to do the same thing with this one, it might fly back to Sandscale.
That would be quite a miraculous sight to see. Where are you, by the way? I don't want to get hit by this thing if it does.
Well, it wouldn't quite pass through you there. We are near the edge of the Towering Wilds, up north of where Elms Hollow once stood.
Why, by the gods, would you go there?
Because we had a moment of quick action using a teleportation scroll, and it was a place that I knew well enough in the middle of nowhere where there wasn't going to be other people to potentially come after us. People wouldn't have expected us to be there.
Why do people never choose nice locations?
I
Like
would
a-
have preferred to come home to you.
Well, he's in Sea Bluff now anyways. He's not even intruded.
Was he not? Oh.
I would have loved to go see my mother too, but I'm not endangering folks I love.
Well, I appreciate that. I can't even pretend that I understand most of what you are experiencing. Everything is so illogical. It just defines explanation, and I don't know.
Oh, and Shogun is fired, and he's no longer a member of the Order.
What? He's
Yes, remove
trading
him of
our
his place.
inductees as I speak.
Three's laughing in the background.
Nell's just looking in the air, groaning. I suppose it could wait till I speak to him in person, but I've got some choice words for the man.
What, fired for what? What did he do?
Disobeyed an order and went and slaughtered those goblins over in the collapsed caverns.
By his admission, he did it to redeem himself by helping Barrel's Hope. I don't think he did it with the intention of disobeying the order.
That
He
will be
didn't
seen when I
want
see
to.
him next. Bullshit.
Don't know what Bovine have to do with this, but you are free to make that call. I personally think that we should probably find a backup. Kip's great at subterfuge, but the man can't stand a fight toe-to-toe with someone to save his life.
Understood. That was a bit of a rash reaction, yes.
Clearly, this has been weighing heavily on you, so your emotions are understandable. Think about it. It's your call to do. I think that he would not be here if not for attempting to make amends with you. Use that information as you will.
Understood.
So, any other fun surprises? Magical unicorns?
The markings of my father's line appeared on my body.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
We should have a drink when you get back to celebrate. That's
I'm sure
second
Mother
puberty.
would cry about it. I suppose in a sense, yeah, it did even change my magic.
The act of magic changing is so strange to think of. I couldn't imagine my magic changing.
Yeah.
It must feel.
Some of my magic is indigo now, and it just feels more like when you walk outside on a cold day and take a breath. That first almost collapse of the lungs,
Well, I'm sure some amongst you may find that a great feeling, while some
Isn't
may
bad.
not. but it's fascinating nonetheless. I'm curious, but not curious enough, if you know what I mean. Well, I will
Send my
let
love
you
to my
all.
mother.
I certainly will. And I'll let you get back to what you're doing. Keep me in the loop of whatever new advancement you make.
We're going to Carrion's Crawl.
Why do you tell me these things?
Well, you see, one of those points on the stars over there, and apparently, does he
Did we
even
tell
know
him?
about coin?
Does he?
Does he know about coin, Roderick?
What is a coin now? Wait, what?
Story time, Roderick.
Oh, we're sharing information now? Oh, okay. Well, I have a friend that's been helping us through our troubled times and has proven himself to be quite reliable.
Is your friend from the Shatterkai too?
I
Don't know.
don't know now. Now that's in my head.
Coin also changes form every time we see him. Is he truly a changeling? They, because they've been female too. Perhaps they're a member of the
Could be.
fucking Silver Masquerade. Who
Well,
even
it's the
goddamn
only-
knows?
Whatever it is, it's helping us, and the only thing helping us other than Quillwise. So I'm fine with it.
I just like making Quillwise stressed, okay?
And then, what else? Didn't he take you to Sea Bluff one day? Is that what you said? This is me asking, not Thrain. Did you tell us that?
Yeah, he shared this information with
Mm-hmm.
Desmond.
So not Thrain.
No, Thrain was passed out in his room for some reason. I don't.
For some reason or
remember.
another, I've been passed out so many times.
Yeah, one of the Thrain pass out times.
Exactly.
He's a sleepy man. Half of the character is, I'm gonna take a nap. I got hit real hard.
The other half is, ow, you hit me. You're gonna die now.
Mm-hmm.
You would hear Quillwise sort of mutter under his breath, some incantation.
This individual was met first. Did you say that it was that time you almost killed yourself in the temple?
Cool. What are you casting?
Don't worry about it.
Can I know, please?
So I like summoned him during trying to do a god summoning ritual. And
Where was that?
I was
It was
trying
intruded.
It was intruded.
A god summoning ritual?
Yeah, I was like asking like the godly people amongst our group how to do it, and they wouldn't tell me. And then Desmond was like, "You need to do this." So I went and did that, and there he was.
We all are going to sit down and have a nice long chat when you get back here.
Hey, I didn't decide to worship him. I didn't sign some like contract or something.
Yeah, after all, Roderick's the results guy.
Right. And my guy got us out of our prison.
You hear him say another incantation.
Didn't you say you have an agreement that you will do something and he'll help you speak to Reyna?
He just said he needs some time.
Okay, so let me make sure that I'm hearing everything correctly. You beckoned an unknown god and then made a deal with it.
No, I wasn't asking for an unknown god. Nell told me about Reyna, and I tried having like cookies baked repeatedly and got nothing. So I decided to fast track it. And I asked him, how do I fast track this whole like God mortal alliance thing? And they were being all like
You
wishy
can't fast
washy
track
about
it.
it. And then Desmond was like, yeah, let's like, sacrifice or something. So, went in the church and slit my wrists, and there he was. So there you go. It was that easy.
Desmond, we're going to have a nice long chat about what we can and cannot tell Roderick, because we know that he takes things differently than most people.
So literally.
Yeah. And guess who got results? And guess who all switching gods and can't hear from their gods anymore? These bunch around me. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I was also giving him literal advice. Desert chuckles.
What's your advice? Kill yourself.
Be right back.
I got you.
True, last time I cut my hands, I did get the direct attention of Baal.
There you go. Whoever
Don't
Ball
worry,
is.
I rejected being the champion of the god that I accidentally got called to me.
You hear a third incantation.
Well, there you go, Nell. Just do that again. Then we have another god on our side.
No! I am not bringing the god of murder into my life at all, thank you.
Please don't do that.
Sounds kind of handy to me.
No, it's not. You never. I am out of 4th level spell slots.
He calls them spell slots.
Smart enough to metagame.
I am not drunk enough to deal with the information that you are telling me. I'm gonna walk away from this stone. You all have a wonderful night.
Crow eyes.
Hi.
There are tears from the negative seeping into the Shadowfell. I need to expedite my mission here.
I feel like that's one of the ones you should have led with. That seems.
That also might have been my fault. That happened while I was fighting the Nightwalker. When I tried.
Stop it. Tears in the tears to the negative plane haven't happened in thousands of years. Do you have anyone at home that's seen this, witnessed it, heard anything?
The only communication I've had back home is a few days ago, and it wasn't directly back home. It was with my father's general.
That slow head turn.
So no one's seen it. No one's heard anything from home directly.
That's good, at least. How do you plan on expediting your mission?
Well, while the rest of the party gathers information on these runes and their whereabouts, I will be not splitting off from them, but at the same time gathering my own information. If we go to Sea Bluff or any other major cities, while they are doing one thing, I will be doing another.
Very well. If there's anything I can help with, let me know. I don't know how you can expedite this, but
I have the leader of the guild that we joined in Durian is currently doing research on spell combining. I seen a small preview of something that they had cooked up and told them my plans, and they said that they were going to look into it. So I have a little bit of faith in that it is some magic and crafting I've never seen before.
you know, if anyone here can do it, Arthurius would be the one. Again, let me know where I can help. Esmeralda, pleasure meeting you. I apologize for them in advance.
It's been a pleasure as well.
And then you just hear him like muttering to himself, as you could tell him like moving further away till his voice is just gone. All right.
I know I shouldn't take pleasure in making an old man get frazzled, but boy, is it hilarious every time.
Has it really been that long that he hasn't known that much?
I mean, we've spoken out about plenty of things, but I don't think we had mentioned the ball issue.
Desmond starts like setting up his tent and stuff. I don't really understand how you all can find that humorous.
Grim humor.
I see.
It's so much going wrong that you can only laugh at it. For me, at least.
It somehow doesn't feel like that big of a deal considering everything that's gone on. That ball whispered to me asking to be his champion. Previously, and even when it did happen, that would have been extremely traumatizing. At this point, it's like, that's just a drop in the bucket.
Desmond's like nodding and his eyes like wide. He goes back
He's like,
to setting
they're
up his...
losing it. Got it.
Y'all aren't used to being able to see Desmond roll his eyes at you. You're like, wow, this guy's a dick. He's constantly just rolling his eyes. All right.
So downtime.
Yep. Y'all can knock out one downtime event.
Foraging.
Do it.
So that is. Do I find any?
No.
No.
I'm
No.
also gonna go out and forage.
With you being in the grasslands here, there's not a whole lot, so.
There would have been for me, maybe. But I can't find it.
No, there's not a whole lot. It's just kind of grass here.
Desmond's just gonna hang out around camp, and I actually have a ring for Esmeralda.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
Already? Damn.
Moving fast,
She only
aren't
just
we?
got here. I'm also just gonna go out and wander around.
Yeah, you could find some rocks and some sediment that would be useful for smithing, whether it be for building like the flashing, or if you're actually maybe some ore.
Am I rolling on the crafting components for that?
Yes, you would. Two uncommon.
inventory.
I don't feel like that's set up right to roll the way it's supposed to.
2d10. I got 2.
It can happen.
It can. Does it tell you the breakdown, Cliff, if you highlight it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. But I know you guys have gotten some fucking ridiculous amount, so I'm not gonna doubt it when it's low.
Yeah.
we ain't playing that game, Adam. Mr. fucking like 56 on 1.
One thing I do not like is with the character sheet locked, I cannot adjust anything. And then if you unlock it, it opens up everything, so it gives you all the buttons. You just don't want to leave unlocked.
Hey man, the dude that owns Fantasy Grounds' name is Doug. Reach out to him.
God.
He's
fucking
not a bad
damn
guy.
it, Doug.
A 4 would have been 2d10. So yeah,
Yeah.
you just rolled really shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Once camp's all set up and the fire's going and things are relaxing, Nell's just plucking on their lyre until nightfall, not really doing much, and I intend to take first watch.
Give me a perception roll.
Oh.
Or not perception, performance rather. Performance roll. Hey.
Roderick's going to wait till he can catch Desmond alone.
Oh no, you want a conversation alone with Desmond.
That's how we talk to Desmond now.
It's time for fucking therapist Desmond.
Right, we're back out into the wilds. Here we go again.
Y'all are some petty bitches, let me tell you.
The best part is it's always been just go to Desmond for everything. And it only just came up now. It's an issue. So to say. It's like it's always been just go to Desmond.
He's like, so hey, I was thinking with this new fancy sword, is there a way to make it where it can use like the bullets that I'm making, the energy from them, to maybe like when I swing, it does like, so if I take a lightning bullet and I put it like in there, then it can like swing for that same type of, like, have you ever heard of something like that?
I can probably figure that out.
Ah, yeah. Now, I know you probably got stuff you already got going, so if like you need a hand with that kind of stuff to speed this
Like,
up.
lifts his hands, put him behind his bed. I finished everything
Ah, perfect.
except for your noise canceling. Those things.
Yeah. I need both of those. So if I helped you, would it make both of these go faster?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. That's my goal. I want to help you do that stuff, make this go fast. And say, while I'm at it, if the Shadowkai invasion was happening, you tell me, right? You wouldn't leave me in the dark, secret meeting or anything like that, right?
That is something that would directly affect everyone, so it would be a open topic of discussion.
Right,
I
right.
would tell you.
But you'd especially let me know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And you didn't know the witch was Esmeralda was showing up,
That was a surprise.
and you didn't know that Thrain was a short Shadowkai?
He's newly found.
Ah,
That was like squinting.
got it. Okay. So like, what's up with the like spellcasty stuff that Esmeralda's doing. Like, is that gonna be a thing? Like, has she used it on you? Would you know if she used it on you?
She Esmeralda has been by my side for the majority of the time that she's been with the group, and I have yet to see her cast a single spell.
What if the spell was to make you forget that you saw her cast a spell? Huh?
I don't think any of the houses have that knowledge.
What if that's a part of it? Every time someone figures out, magically they forget.
Then my house would have that knowledge, and we don't.
Okay. If you say she's cool, but something's weird's going on, the timing of her showing up still a little fine to me, but I'm not gonna get off into that because I tried to tell Nell and Nell just looked at me like, okay. So, yeah.
I've known her for most of my life. She is my sister's best friend, so they were always out and about. I just know her by that. But as far as I'm aware, she came at the request of my sister instead of obligation to any houses or my family.
All right. So, like, when Daddy Desmond comes with, your whole family and everything, I'm not like bumped down the ladder now, am I?
No.
Ha, all right, cool. So let's get started. He starts breaking out his like kits and stuff.
Are you all within earshot of Nell playing the lyre?
If Nell's around camp, then probably.
Yeah.
If so, Desmond, Roderick, you can roll with advantage.
What are we
True, it's
rolling?
kind of like a song of rest.
All right.
I am a bard now.
They're doing the crafting, so that's all.
Yep.
Esmeralda, do you have any downtime event shit that you do?
I would just go into a trance.
Okay. So you're not going to actually like do any crafting or anything like that?
I mean, what would I even craft?
I don't know. What do you want to craft?
No, it's gonna
Well,
go.
Esmeralda could be off doing research instead. Because you said she was trying to learn more about this plane.
Yes, that is what I told you.
Did you forget this?
Answers Megan as Esmeralda.
Right.
If you're trying to do any research, you could do like a investigation if you're doing general research. If you're trying to ascertain anything specific, you could choose a more specific skill. So you're researching something new with this, right, Roderick?
Yes.
Create a new tracker for it. Just create a new ranged weapon, do ammo. Or actually, I don't know if the tracker you have might be able to be used for it. And you can go ahead and add 2 ticks to it. So Esmeralda, as everybody else is kind of start settling down, and you notice they start more staying to themselves and doing their own thing. You start to wander about a little bit and just look at some of the like flora that's in the area and like how the flowers and whatnot here differ from back home. And uh, one particular one particular flower you find is a very, very beautiful flower. It is a blue orchid, and like it's nothing like that you've seen in the Shadowfell, and it fills you with an inspiration that for some reason like you want to like you start thinking like poetic hymns in your mind inspired by this flower.
I am also going to. I obviously going to start writing into my book about poetry and stuff like that. But afterwards, after I'm done, I am going to pick it and kind of like smash it in my book.
Okay. All right. And as the campfire burns on into the blackness of the night, that's where we'll end it at, is sort of on a nice, calm segment as you all prepare to enter into the towering wilds and dealing with whatever may come from the Kirin Crawl. So, thank you. Drake takes again. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. I'm gonna see who is online, and let's see who we can raid out to. Jesus Christ. How long have they been on? Not too long. 3 hours and 15 minutes. What do you think? Should we risk it?
Why not?
Sure.
I like it. Okay. We're gonna raid out to Roll to Quest. So again, thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll be back next week for episode 43 as we explore the Towering Wilds and discover the Carrion Crawl. Until then, thank you. Bye.